Welcome to the show, where the truth gets very low. Every scream's a dollar sign, every lie's by design. Corporate masters pull the strings, watch the puppets dance and sing. Unlimited tirade, we're cutting through the masquerade. Unlimited tirade, no more feeding on that fake parade. We'll see through the charade. Unlimited tirade.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is I, Decrepit, the hooded lad in the corner of the cantina, and we are back once again with another episode of Unlimited Tirade, where we talk all of your favorite tisms with me and my panel of gracious co-hosts. And tonight, before I get even started, let's go ahead and bring in the other man of the hour. We, of course, have Mr. Narrowdark. How you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back.
Yeah, man, you ready to get going? Tonight's a little exciting. Got a lot to discuss. I'm ready. Yeah, that's great. Real quick before we get any further, man, we had a couple guys in the chat before we started. Shout out to Oddball, always one of the first people that I see in the chat. Hail Oddball, good to see you. And we got February 2099 is also in the building. Good to see you, February. Always a pleasure. Yeah, man. A whole lot's been going on lately. Narrow Dark, of course, you know you've been in tune. Been in the streets are talking, and a whole lot's been going on. We could start definitely with the Mandalorian and Grogu mess, and then we're gonna build our way over to talking about Spider Noir. Really excited to sink my teeth into talking about some of that stuff, and then we got a little tier list for you guys towards the end before we start talking about video games. So lots to go through. Sit tight, grab your popcorn, grab your alcoholic or your non-alcoholic beverages, and let's hang out. So did you watch Mandalorian and Grogu?
I haven't. Well, no.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna try and find a way to watch it like online somewhere, but I can't find it yet.
Okay, yeah, because I was trying to check all of I have like 2 or 3 websites that are like my sailing the high seas sources, and unfortunately I think they've got this one under lock and key. They're definitely not letting this one go out unless they can squeeze every little bit of money that they can out of it. So unfortunately I wasn't able to watch the movie, but I've watched multiple reviews, spoilerful reviews of people talking about it. It's nothing really to spoil as far as I'm concerned, because I've heard that there's a whole lot not going on in that film.
Yeah, do you know Jeremy Johns?
I do. Yes, I'm a fan. I'm sub to him. Yeah,
I've been sub to him since like I was in high school. But
oh yeah,
his I think it was like his spoiler review where he was like, oh, this part of the movie, that's like the first 2 episodes, and then this part is like
he was able to easily like dissect which were the starts and endings of
and it's like
episodes that they pieced together.
It made it like that was, regardless of what Disney is saying, like this was clearly meant to be season 4.
Yeah,
it probably would have been better as a show. It probably just would have been.
Better, questionable, but I definitely hear you. It was probably
it's more suited to a
TV.
It was
way better formatted for the TV like formula that they've been putting out for this show. But yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu, it hit the theaters, I should say, over the last weekend where that just passed, and it's been out it was actually, it was over the weekend, and it's been out for a while, and the box office numbers came back, and apparently it's not doing that great. It's getting beat out there by like independent films such as Obsession, and I think it was Backrooms already one of those movies that were out as well. Didn't Backrooms release too?
I'm sure that'll probably do pretty well.
Yeah. Backrooms, I've heard that's also an independent film. Markiplier is behind that one, isn't he?
No, he did Iron Lung.
Iron Lung. Okay, so okay,
Like,
well,
the guy, Kane, I forget his name, Kane. I want to say Kane Parker, but that might not be it. But his name is Kane, and he was like, I think he either is 18. He's pretty young. He directed it, but he also did like the backrooms found footage stuff on YouTube.
okay,
So then
yeah.
they made a movie, and he got to direct it.
Yeah,
It's like his
I
movie.
just I did I said Markiplier because I know that he made an independent film. I'm not in tuned with who is behind the Backrooms movie nor the Obsession film. I just know that they were both like backed by like YouTube people, and they're basically smacking the fuck out of Mandalorian and Grogu in the box
I know
office right now.
about Obsession and Backrooms. Both of those directors are pretty young. They're like Gen Z. And I remember like just recently on Twitter, everyone was like, they clearly like didn't actually direct these. No way these young guys directed these great movies or these good
Yeah.
movies that are successful. And it's
Mhm.
like, they just are talented.
Yeah, dude. Like, go figure that there's actual like passion behind some people's vision, and it's not all about the fucking money. It's not about the big dollar budgets. There's a lot of people that we know out there, a lot of normies out there on different sides, whether they're sitting on fences or not, and they want to talk about like big budget films and how certain projects don't get a big budget. But it's not about that. It's not about the money. It's about the passion and the creativity and the minds and the hands that are behind the project that they're trying to put out there. So it's not always about that. And
Yeah, and
one of the go ahead.
sorry, go for it.
No. I was on a
I
tangent. But
was just
keep
gonna
going.
say, like horror movies, they can be made for like a few million and then just be massive hits if they're done well. And
Yeah.
I think, I'm a fan of the genre when it's done well. There's a lot of shit horror movies.
I'm a major fan of horror because I think horror is one of those ones that you don't even have to put a lot into it to make it good. Like and when I say don't make it, don't have to make it good. Like there's ass horror movies out there. There's iconic and cult classic horror films that are so low budget, so like the practical effects
Yeah,
are
like
very
Evil
cheap.
Dead. Evil Dead.
Yeah, that's a good
You can
example.
see there's like it is such a movie, if it makes sense. Like it's so
yeah,
clear.
I hear
Like
that. There's a
these
lot of
guys
like
just did
there's
it.
like a lot of Italian giallo horror films and thriller, like mystery thriller films that I am a very big fan of, and I buy like the Blu-ray copies of it from Arrow Video. And these movies look like they were just sitting there following people like smoking and sitting in a cafe, and then they hand one of the guys a hammer and then fake blood, and then they make a killing scene, and then that's the movie. Like you don't need a whole lot to do it. It's just like the way that you shoot it too, like the way that you implement your cinematography skills too. That's a big deal about it. Like as far as like when we're going to get into it when we talk about Spider-Man or Spider Noir, that's a big thing that stood out for me was the way they shot that show is a big standout for me, and I really enjoyed that. So
Yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about it.
yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll get into it. But like, bottom line is like, you don't need these big companies. You don't need these corporate backings. You don't need all these hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars. Sometimes you just need a couple $1,000 and some buddies that are standing behind your vision, and they want to see something and make something cool with you. So
Yeah, and on the topic of like Mando and Grogu or Disney Star Wars in general, you can and like with these horror movies and even Spider Noir, like you can tell when something is made with like actual passion.
Yeah, you can.
And that's why like Disney Star Wars, you can always tell that it just feels so fake and so corporate. And it's like these people are just they're not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't feel that's like I said it in my mall video that I put together recently. Shout out to everybody that's been showing love on the mall video. Really appreciate it. But I said it that like a lot of the heads, especially Dave Filoni, he's creative, but he's not cut from the same level of creative cloth that George Lucas is. And I really hate the comparisons and everybody that screams and cries his praises about him being George's apprentice. And it's just, I don't see it. I don't see it. And unfortunately, like now when I hear him talk about Star Wars in interviews, it's like he's talking about a completely different IP, a completely different property.
Did you end up watching all of Maul?
I watched the first couple episodes and then I checked out, and then I just watched like spoiler reviews of people talking
Right.
about
Okay.
it. Yeah, same thing. And when I watched it, I don't have Disney Plus. You can't Disney Plus me, and I don't pay no money to that. So of course
Yeah, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow when I need to watch
yeah, I
something. I'm
yo
not
ho
paying
ho and a
anything.
bottle of rum when I go watching Disney projects now. So call me
If I
bootstrap.
can get it for free, I will do it, no matter what it is,
Yeah,
unless it's a video game. I don't really.
yeah. I'm,
Uh,
I'm
I spend money on that,
yeah,
unfortunately, for my bank
I'm
account.
I'm Captain Hooded Bill Turner. Real quick before we keep on going on a tangent, we're talking about Mandalorian and Grogu right now, but shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Star Wars Forges in the building. Shout out to Star Wars Forge. We already said what's up to Oddball in February. What's up? Good to see you guys. And we got Mike C is in the building. What's up, Mike C? Always a pleasure, man. Good to see you. Appreciate you guys all checking in for the episode tonight. Really appreciate the support. Real quick, also too, before we keep on going, if you guys aren't already, make sure to follow me on X at the Decrepit One. The banner's down below. You could follow me at the Decrepit One on X. I talk a lot of bullshit and mortisms and share a lot of stupid opinions on there as well. And be sure to subscribe, like, and share the stream. That's always a good thing too. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu. I really can't stand the whole people on our side that say the whole rhetoric of like, oh, Star Wars is dead, RIP Star Wars. And we've said that a couple times here and there, like just like kind of as like a gag, you know what I mean? But Star Wars is never gonna die as long as the real fandom is being loyal to it and not submitting to this Disney propaganda bullshit. So I can't stand by that, and I won't say the actual like phrase Star Wars is dead.
Yeah,
But
there's like two sides to that. One is Disney Star Wars in particular is dead, but Star Wars as like this famous popular brand is dead in the minds of like the younger generation and
yeah,
I guess the
yeah.
general audience as well.
Yeah, like how I brought it up last episode, and I said, like the old sci-fi, like the old sci-fi fans of back in the day were like big Trekkie heads, and Star Trek peaked before I want to say like before the 2000s is when Star Trek peaked, and Star
For
Wars,
sure, yeah.
yeah, you could argue that Star Wars peaked like around. Debatable. This is a hot take because there's people that will debate me, but there's people. I feel that Star Wars peaked around the prequel era, and like when on the downturn of the prequel era, like kind of coming to a close, that's when we saw like the absolute like height of Star
Yeah,
Wars
with
hype
like all
going
the
on.
games that came out along the way as
Yeah,
well,
man.
like
And
it
then
really did a
Attack.
lot to make it popular.
Yeah, and Attack of the Clones came out, and I feel that that was probably a little bit of maybe a bump in the road for some people. There were some people that weren't as infatuated with
Yeah,
the whole idea behind Attack of the Clones, and I get it.
not perfect,
But
but it's still underrated.
that whole third act on Geonosis is just chef's
Yeah,
kiss,
that
dude. Like,
that and everything Obi-Wan does in that movie, like that his whole plot in that is great.
yeah, Obi-Wan's the star for Attack of the Clones for sure. I Hayden Christensen, that was his debut for the franchise. He was only in 2 films, but you have to give him his props and his kudos because he was doing exactly what George said to do, and
Yeah, and I
he was
heard him say
following his
he
directions.
like his delivery was inspired by how Vader talked in the original trilogy. And like I guess his cadence would sound a bit uh stiff if you don't
Yeah,
have that voice modulator as well. It kind of adds to it. But there were scenes in Attack of the Clones where I thought he was doing a great job, and I think his performance in Episode 3 is like really good
yeah.
the whole
No,
time.
oh yeah, I can't. Yeah, again, the Revenge of the Sith. It'll go between Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith for my favorite films, and Anakin/Vader is the standout in Revenge of the Sith for sure.
And this is
Um,
what happens when we're talking about Disney Star Wars. We always just end up talking about real Star Wars because
yeah,
Disney is
I know,
fucking
because
lame.
yeah, but so dialing back to what we were like bringing up though, the fact that the Disney Star Wars like movie franchise is definitely dead after this. Like, no, they've
Well,
lost so much good faith with a lot of normie fans. The shills are obviously clapping for
yeah,
this. The
this
shills
is
love it.
why like the normies are gonna. I just know the normies are gonna go see Starfighter because that's why Ryan Gosling's in it.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
general audience, especially with like Project Hail Mary
Mhm.
that came out and it did really well, everyone loved it.
Mhm.
Ryan Gosling's in that, so
Right.
I just know Starfighter is going to do a lot better than this movie.
Yeah, I think that, well, dude, this was the movie that was hitting after what, 6-7 years of a hiatus in
6-7.
Shut up. Shut up. Stop.
Yeah,
Uh
terrible decision. I don't know why they put this movie out.
Well, I feel like the announcement happened and then they just had to commit to it, but they've canceled so many other projects that they've like announced before, so I don't understand why they had to commit to this one
Maybe
being the thing.
because they wanted a movie and turning season 4 into a film would have been the easiest one to get out the soonest. Because they probably would have
Maybe.
had all the stuff ready for the season.
Yeah,
and
they
just used
would have
it
had.
for
They've
the
probably
movie.
been sitting on this content for who knows how long when they filmed this ago. You know what I mean? And we were saying, season 4 was definitely season 4 content. So I don't like when did season 3 end for this show again? I'm not in tune.
2023 maybe.
Was it 2023? So it's been two plus years since Mandalorian and Grogu has had anything come out.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, so
I think
then
so.
yeah, so they skip. And what was the time lapse between each season? Was it a year in between or less?
I'm trying
I
to
don't.
think.
I
The
can't
first
recall,
two,
dude.
it
I'm
would have
so out
been
of
like,
touch with this. But
what was the first episode of season 2? He,
you couldn't put a gun to my head for me to tell you.
yeah,
Mike
I
C
think it,
said Mando season 3 was spring 2023.
right.
Okay, so if that, yeah, so that's been a little bit of a hiatus just alone in between the Mandalorian property.
Yeah, like
So
I think season 1 and 2 would have been like one right after the other, but then Baby Yoda,
yeah,
went with Luke, and then you had Book of Boba Fett, and then Mando got baby Yoda back in that, and then season 3 happened. I wonder how many people even remember that Book of Boba Fett is even a thing.
I try to forget that it even happened. I
Yeah, like
definitely try to forget that
they,
happened.
I'm not really a biggest fan of, like, I thought Mando season 1 at the time it was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good, especially when you compare it to The Last Jedi, which had come out like right before that, I think.
Yeah.
And then like season 2, like I think the signs were there that this was not going to be good in season 2, because they were like, let's bring all these other characters in and set up these spin-off shows, and it was just awful.
Oh yeah. But remember too that they had to put a Mandalorian episode in the middle of Boba Fett to like keep
2 episodes.
2 episodes, excuse me. Yeah, they had to keep some kind of interest, and because they knew when they hit with this show that the the hardcore Star Wars EU fans rejected this, but the normie audience, they liked this a lot. Baby Yoda, before they got his name Grogu out there, like Baby Yoda was the draw, and no one knew they didn't even know that he was 50 years old until
Yeah,
season 2, or was it season 3?
no, there's like the first episode.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. See,
Because
I watched it one time, guys, and then I never watched it again. So
I
sue
think it
me,
was
okay?
Werner Herzog's character.
Yeah.
He's like, the target is 50 years old, and that's like the surprise when it's a baby.
Yeah.
But I think even for the general, like even for a lot of the normies, like the Baby Yoda thing is really played out.
I would say so, yeah.
Because like that's all Disney is now. It's like, look at this cute little kid, or look at these cute little characters, and it's
Well,
like,
yeah,
can you just fucking tell a story?
that's kind of what I was getting to, because they hit like gold. I don't want to say they hit gold in a good way, but they hit like attention seeking gold when they put this out, and the gravitation towards it came, and the audience showed up and they loved it, and they were gobbling the season 1 up, and season 2 didn't help it anymore, or it helped it a lot, but I should say it didn't help it for like real Star Wars. But like, you had people like Star Wars Theory fucking saying how much he loved season 2 because he cried when he saw Luke Skinwalker
Yeah,
at the
like
end. So
I thought
like,
that was like the peak of the downfall of the show. Like,
Yeah. So
everything building up to that, and then it just was awful.
like, why the fuck is the most important Jedi like main character showing up in side Disney Plus show for Mandalorian and Grogu
Yeah,
when
why does Mando
when you
need
had
to meet Luke?
three fucking major sequel films that you should have done that in. You shouldn't have done that in this show. You should have done it in a fucking main movie back in 2016, 2017. But, you know, what do I know? But yeah, so like the normies showed up in droves for this, and they hooked that audience, and they wanted to keep milking that audience for all it's worth. So I think that's why, out of all the canceled projects that we saw dropping like flies, and Kathleen Kennedy making these promises and then not fulfilling them, and then writers leaving projects because they couldn't get the kind of creative freedom that they wanted to, because they were pigeonholed in this one path followed by Lucasfilm wanting for them to go, and they basically ended up copping up, and they were like, "Oh, I guess we'll just put out a Mandalorian movie. We'll just cut these episodes and put out a Mandalorian movie because at least people will show up for this." But that is not the case when we see this level of like fatigue after even like regular people that love the show. They came out and said that this was mid. They said that this was boring. There was no purpose to this.
That's why they shouldn't, if they were going to make a movie, they should have changed it. But they just took the plot of the show and made a movie out of it.
I mean,
but it doesn't work. Like
I've
the
seen
show,
it.
you know, like
Go
a
ahead.
movie needs to have 3 acts and a clear villain the whole time for it to be good. This kind of movie, anyway. And it doesn't have that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Pascal fatigue. What is he like? I think the amount of minutes he's in this, like his face, isn't it like less than 10 minutes of his face in this movie?
I think it's the scene in the trailer where he gets his mask off.
Oh yeah,
off.
by
Like,
the
that's the
Hut
only one.
the Hut twins.
Yeah, I think that's the only time. But
dude,
yeah.
How fucking funny was that when I heard that they like took his helmet off, and they're like, "Oh, like this material was worth a fortune," and then they fucking like throw it back to him when he falls in the pit or whatever. like it's the decisions that were made. There were decisions made.
Awful,
they didn't think about
awful
it.
fucking writing. I miss when Pedro Pascal was only known as like Oberyn in Game of Thrones. That was back when he was like really cool.
That's when I liked him a lot more. Now I can't stand.
He looks way different too. He looks like
I can't stand the sight of him, and then he's all of a sudden then he's gay now. Like I don't know. Hollywood has done things to
I think he was gay the whole time. He was gay in Game of Thrones.
Maybe he was. Hey, maybe he was. I don't know, but I just know that Hollywood, they make the worst come out of people, and I think we've seen it happen to Pedro Pascal already. So
yeah, and he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh yeah, as Mr. Fantastic. I watched that fucking movie once, and I can't. Anyway, I don't want.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch that again either.
That's The Last Jedi. Jake Skywalker. Yeah, Forge. Grogu should be thrown into lava. That Muppet is so ugly. Yeah, just look at him. I'd rather have like Phantom Menace Muppet Yoda than this abomination. And why are his eyes like fully black? Like, doesn't Yoda have like white eyes with like iris and pupil like humans?
Yeah, he's got like regular eyes.
Like, why did they do that? That just like, because big black puppy eyes makes it cuter.
The more you look at it in this picture, it looks kind of creepy.
The more you look at him, the more your soul is like tearing apart inside.
And another thing about the movie that I've heard a lot of people say is like, yeah, the character's supposed to be 50, but what is his intellect? Because sometimes he seems pretty competent, other times he's acting like a dumb baby.
He's retarded.
You know, like it just doesn't make sense.
He's a baby. He's a senior citizen. Whoa, buddy.
I think by the time they do season 4, they should do a time jump and have him be older and actually a character. I know it's
a character.
Yeah, like they probably don't want to do that because they're like, oh, we're going to be like, it's not going to have the same like appeal. But people are already tired of it, so might as well change it up.
dude. And you know
Try
what the
and put a
funny
little effort into it.
one of the big funniest things that I saw going around on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, like the last few days out now that this movie's been soaking out there and people have been digesting it. This is damn near the same plot from the 2008 Clone Wars movie.
Yeah,
Like they
literally
they
same
send
character.
yeah, they send two main characters that are tagged together have to go save Rod of the Hutt, and they're hired by a Hutt to go save him. And it's the same thing in this one, but apparently the Rod of the Hutt grows up to be a big jacked up muscular Hutt character, and he speaks Galactic Basic. He doesn't even speak Huttese in this one, as far as everything that I've been hearing. And he doesn't even want to go back. Like, he doesn't want to go back home. And the Mandalorian's like, okay, I'll make sure that you can live your life how you want. And then he leaves them alone and then goes to kill the Hutt twins or whatever. So yeah, what a plot. What a plot. Quote, there's air quotes in the air with my fingers right now. You just can't see it, but what a plot. What a show. What a movie. What a pal. Also too, Mike C just made a good point. This was like one of the biggest things. The most disgusting thing to come from this was Sexplain and Ku Klux Klarn got personal invite messages from the Babu Freak puppets. So yeah, like the dude, the ultimate like shill access for this film. Like, we saw J.I. Akub on a red carpet. Like, wow.
Yeah, that is fucking
congratulations.
bullshit.
Congratulations to J.I. Akub for getting on a red
off.
carpet for a fucking Disney film.
His shilling paid off, like fucking hell.
The shill is strong with you.
Like, I can't believe that. I honestly,
oh yeah, and
he
then,
did
dude,
the impossible.
I was seeing, like, of course, we had all of the regular shills. Ku Klux Klarn was there. Sexplain was there. Molly and Alex were there. Oh yeah, Will of the Force was there with his pal from his Determined Focus podcast. They were both there. They also got inside access when Maul Shadowlord debuted, because Will of the Force was major shilling for that show when it was about to come out, and of course he shilled for this. But I was actually watching their live stream the other day, and I dropped a couple things, but I think he had ignored me in the chat because he remembered me from last time. And they didn't even like it, like, necessarily. Like, they kept on having to say, like, oh, like, after the second time, and I was texting with you, and we were like, I think it's better now. Like, I think I get it. Like, I get it. It's like that zoom in face on Danny DeVito and fucking Sunny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he says,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, the fucking alcoholics moment of clarity. And they were like, they just were so all over the place. So, like, I was just say, like, do you like it or not? Like, just say, is it good? Is it good to you or is it not? And of course, they gave the typical answer, like 7 out of 10. Everybody remembers the 7 out of 10 nonsense when everybody was saying that a whole lot. Like, Star Wars Theory was saying 7 out of 10. Echo Base Network or Yavin Base Broadcast were saying fucking 7 out of 10. Everybody was riding that train. So, it's the safe number. It's safe to say, if you didn't like it, but you're still a shill and you want to maintain your access, 7 out of 10, that's a safe number. You can be safe by saying that. Don't worry. But man, dude, it's just, and like the reviews that are coming out, they're all saying, like, if it's fun. The major thing that we keep seeing, it's fun. It's big fun. It's a lot of fun. I don't even like saying the word fun now when I want to describe stuff. Like, I say like, oh, like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this, or like, this one was really well done. I don't even like saying the word fun now. They ruined it for me. The shills ruin everything.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch this movie, honestly. Like, I'll probably
I don't
do it
either.
just to make a video about it. But
I only wanted to watch it so I could fucking tear it apart. And obviously, of course, we said that we were gonna fucking yo ho ho and sail the sea to get it, but it's they got it under lock and key right now. It's kind of hard to get it by that in that way. So
unrelated, this is going to change the subject quickly.
Oh god.
But are you a fan of The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Have you seen that animated movie?
The
new
animated movie or the
there's
live action?
the new animated movie that's going to get released, I think, later this year, but it
Oh,
got
so it's not
leaked.
out yet.
Yeah, the whole thing got leaked. Like
No,
full
I didn't know
HD,
that.
everything.
I did not know that.
I wish something like that happened with this.
Is it like a fuck? Well, fuck. Now you intrigued me. Is it like a fucking? Is it a movie between Korra and Aang's
Yeah,
story?
it's about Aang as an adult and Team
Oh, like
Avatar as
it's oh,
adults.
it'll probably be like before he dies or leading up to him dying or something.
Yeah, it's set like way before. I don't even think he has kids at that point.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
I thought, you know what, man, pretty decent.
Oh, you watched it already?
Yeah, animation and fight scenes real good. The voice acting is fucking weird though, because it's all a different cast.
Yeah,
So it's like so jarring.
yeah, yeah. I was a fan of the original Avatar, but you know, potato.
Yeah, but
Um,
anyway, back to Star
No, but
Wars.
yeah, well, like anyway, like I said, there's not really much that I can like say about this other than like you know like what a mess, and this isn't sticking the landing for a lot of people that had expectations for this to do like big things. They wanted this to be like a big deal, and for everybody to be super excited and for the hype to come back, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, dude, the cope that I've been seeing with all these people posting their fucking photos of them in the theaters, and they're like manufacturing and artificially, or they're filling like seats up with AI. Like I've seen the moon and back now of all these people that are coping over this because they can't stand the fact that they were proved wrong and this movie isn't a smash hit like they wanted it to be. Like I was just talking to Narrowdark before we started the stream and we were in the background. Like this right now, the opening weekend was 40 million for this film, and Backrooms. Sorry, it says this was a Deadline article that I got on the side that I'm reading, and it said Backrooms is looking to force choke Lucasfilm Disney Star Wars for #1 this box office frame with a 40 million or 45 million domestic opening, and fucking yeah, I never thought I would see this. Like there was talks about like obviously box office is kind of very finicky, and you have to be like you have to check back into it like after it's been out for like a month or so, or before like when it's getting close to like theaters aren't gonna have it in the or being playing anymore. God, I can't fucking talk right now, but I don't think that the box office numbers are in fact like genuine with what we're seeing right now, and there's definitely gonna be some fumbling around that they're gonna be like coping, and they're gonna be protecting a whole lot of this. Like Hollywood does a great job of like covering its own ass, so I think that we're not going to be seeing like true numbers from what it's actually is until like much later on. So I think we're just going to have to let this sit for a minute. But from what I can see, and the people that are taking photos of themselves, selfies in the theaters, everybody's like huddling up to the front row, but then you look behind them and all the rows behind them are empty. And it's massive cope. It's massive defensive mode right now for all of these Disney defenders. It's just typical behavior that we expected to see when we knew this movie wasn't going to be the success that everybody was hoping. So honestly, I'm happy that this is happening to this. I'm glad that a lot of people are having to play catcher and play hockey goalie defense right now for this movie, and they just look like a bunch of fools, honestly, because only a fool would stand behind something like this and think that it was going to save and resurrect the franchise that Disney has ran into the ground, honestly.
Yeah, but that's why I'm thinking Starfighter is actually going to do well enough that the shills are going to be so fucking
like
insufferable.
you think that Ryan Gosling alone is going to be like the major draw over like a character that they created like Mandalorian?
Absolutely. That's why he's in the movie, dude. Like he is really popular, like I said, with Project Hail Mary. Like right now, perfect decision on their part to put a big star like Ryan Gosling in. But I think it just goes to show how desperate they are at the same time, because like you shouldn't need to do that with Star Wars.
Nope. You would think that some characters made would speak for itself, like already existing characters.
Also, like after season 1 of The Mandalorian, like Mando does not have a character. Like, he doesn't. He's so boring.
This is the gay.
Oh
shout
my
out to
God.
Shout out to Star Wars Scran. He's in the building. What's up? Howdy, Scran. Good to see you. Shout out. If you guys aren't already, man, make sure you guys go subscribe to Star Wars Scran. I think yeah, I think that was pretty much we wanted to cover it. We didn't watch this personally, probably not going to watch it, probably not going to even bother getting this or viewing this movie by other means on the internet. So it just might be a waste of my time, honestly. I don't think we need to waste any more breath on this. I've debated whether or not I'm going to even make a video for this. I feel like the aura and the energy surrounding like the shills being hyped for Maul Shadowlord was way bigger than this movie.
Yeah, and I think like
that makes sense.
By the time I get an opportunity to actually watch the movie and talk about it, no one's gonna even give a fuck anymore. So it's like
exactly,
no point.
Yeah, like everybody already came out with their review videos the next day, like the day of and the next day.
The conversation about this movie's done it already.
Yeah, it's like I feel like I've been having to like make up a few things right now to even make this conversation about this movie sound interesting, but that's just my personal opinion because I don't want to beat a dead horse over your guys' head with this. Scran said what I saw of it was horrifically bad. I believe it. But yeah. Oh, sorry, real quick. So I think we can just go ahead and we can let this movie die in the water. You know, I'm the fucking, you know, everybody knows me, the hooded lad in the corner, but I think this movie needs to go pick its own corner and just go shrivel up and die in it, honestly. Oh yeah, and before real quick, I wanted to say I really got a kick out of the fact that Star Wars Theory, he posted like a video that says like Dave Filoni, like what is going on, and like Dave Filoni wasn't even like the main powerhouse behind this movie, right? Like, wasn't it mostly Jon Favreau? I know Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are like hand in hand. I know they're both hand in hand when it comes to putting out the Mandalorian show, and I know of course Dave Filoni has hands on this movie, but wasn't this mostly like a Jon Favreau like project? Like,
I would consider Mando and Grogu mostly a Jon Favreau led thing, but from what like the interviews they've had together, it seems like they were both really involved with making movies.
I wasn't sure if he was like 50-50 on it with him, so I wasn't sure. But I know that Dave Filoni was like the main carrying force for Maul Shadowlord, you know, because he's the animation king. So
look at this. So I just 3 days ago, Theory posted a video. Dave Filoni, please explain this. The top comment is, as long as the sequel trilogy gets retconned, I don't care. It's like, that's never gonna fucking happen, you bozo.
Dude, what is it? Okay, you know what? We all know that there's like different sects and different factions of the Star Wars fandom, and we like to think that we're like above a lot of these other ones, but that faction of like Clone Wars fans that love the 6 films, they love Clone Wars, but they deny the expanded universe books, and they deny the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and they love the Disney animated projects, but then they hate the live action Disney Plus projects and the sequel trilogy films. Like, that's a mix right there for a faction of the fandom, ain't it? And Star Wars Theory has a big part in spearheading that like direction of those particular fans. And they loved Maul Shadowlord, but they hate Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, fuck Theory and his fucking idiot fans, honestly.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's been brought up by multiple guys. Gatekeepers Alliance guys have said it. Star Wars Marvel purist, aka Bane of the Shills, has said it constantly. Shout out to him. He said it mostly that you're leading these people astray. Like you lead, like, you know, Disney has already led a lot of people astray, and that's because those people like don't know anything that they're talking about. They don't know anything about Star Wars. They actually probably just became fans when Disney acquired the Star Wars IP. So, they're already lost in itself. You can't bring those people back. But these people that love the original George Lucas 6 film saga, and they like the TCW Clone Wars show. I just don't understand how they can be in denial so much about like expanded universe content. It's probably because they get called out by expanded universe people and like gatekeeper guys that know that TCW is a bunch of canon breaking trash, and they,
Yeah,
they don't want to have that conversation though.
and they will constantly. I'm glad that Kathleen Kennedy's out, just so that these idiots don't have the defense of blaming her for
I know,
like
dude. I know
controlling
exactly.
Filoni. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people will like they still say that about like I just saw in the comments of Theory's video. It's like, oh, all this bad stuff that's in Rebels, or that was actually because, like someone said, like, oh, he had free reign to do whatever he wanted, his first Disney project, and it had all these Mary Sue girl boss bullshit. And they're saying, well, that's because George wasn't there. It's actually now Kathleen doing all this. And it's like, are you fucking dumb? Did these people not watch Ahsoka? It's the same thing as Rebels. And it's all Filoni.
No, yeah. I know that. Yeah. And I think that Oddball was saying it right now too. He said, I like some of TCW, but I know it's not true canon. And that's fair, Oddball, like, because obviously that's a TCW Oddball animated avatar that you got. Like, there is TCW stuff that people like in the show. They like to see certain things in it, but then they're realistic with like their a reality of like what it did to the canon and where it stands as far as like next to the films. And like, it's just like, if you acknowledge that, and you can say like, oh, like I like you could even say like, oh, like I like Ahsoka, but I recognize that what she does and it doesn't line up with the movies that George put out, even though George was like the one of the hands that created Ahsoka. So, like,
Yeah,
that's
but also like if you like that character from Clone Wars or Rebels, there's no way you could still like that character in live action because she's terribly done. She like compared to how she was in TCW or Rebels, it's just like the most unlikable fucking character. So boring.
Major, yeah, very boring, especially with like the portrayal or the adaptation with Rosario Dawson playing her. Like, dude, what a miscasting. Like, if you wanted me to like critique that and just stand alone and like not think about canon stuff, like the casting of that actress playing that character is total miscasting, and the choreography of the fights doesn't even help it either. She just looks like a brick. What I say in my video, I said she's like a talking carrot that has the energy and grace of a wet napkin. She's just fucking
she's so
horrible.
She's so like stiff and bland. The delivery of her lines feels nothing like Ahsoka did in animated like projects like Rebels and stuff. Like talks completely differently, acts completely differently.
Yeah. Yeah, and Oddball said right here, Oddball was in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. And Oddball was also the Revenge of the Sith adaptation comic book. Well, he had like he had like 2 or 3 extra lines or panels in the comic too, over the Battle of Coruscant. So I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know if Oddball died over that battle. I can't remember. I don't know off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah. Mango and Tofu came out, and no one cares, or none of us real fans care, and this was expected. This is the flop. This is the flop. This is the trash. But I think we can go ahead and we can wrap that part up. But man, yeah, what a shit show. Mike C said Oddball survived, I think, and fought at Utapau. Okay, I'm not okay. I wouldn't remember that. Scran said it's Blando and Grogurt. Blando and Grogurt. Remember Gogurt? Remember Gogurt tubes? Those are so cool. I miss those. I heard somewhere that Louise Julie, for example, only became a fan in 2017 when she was about 21. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, man.
A lot of the Disney
these,
shills,
a lot of these
especially
shills hopped
the young
on
women.
board. A
Yeah,
lot of them hopped on board when Force Awakens got
yeah,
announced.
like Mary Cherry.
I don't know.
She's the one who was like, "Red, it's red." Have
Oh,
you seen that clip?
yeah, I
But
know. I know. Of course, I've seen the clip,
yeah,
but
that was
I
her,
didn't. I
and
don't
it's
know the
like
name of her.
her and like a lot of these Disney shows that got in more recently.
Right.
It's like they really liked the sequels, and they don't really like the original trilogy. And like it's just
Yeah.
fucking, these people are fucking mongrels.
Yeah. Fucking degenerates, if I ever heard them. Yeah, but God,
I don't want to sound too sexist, but I'm about to say something sexist.
do it. Do it.
I
Say it.
think like when I can't.
Fuck it. Where if not
Like,
here, then where?
okay. So I think a lot of fandoms, like, hey, Star Wars is for everyone, but women, when you get into the fandom, just shut up. Just shut up about it. Like, I don't think we should be listening to these bitches. Any of them, you know. Maybe one or two are like good ones, but most of you just shut the fuck up about it. This
Oh
is
man.
not for you in the same way.
Oddball said Narrowdark 6 is confirmed.
I'm like this. I mean, look at like video gaming, for example. Okay, now I'm really going on a fucking thing.
Okay, well,
Like,
I'm gonna reel you in.
Okay, when all
I'm
these
gonna reel
women get
you in,
onto these
'cause-
when women start developing games, the games got shit. When
Okay,
women
you know
get
what? All right.
into movies and
I low-key
fandoms
agree
and
with
shit,
you. I low-key agree
it
with
got
you.
shit. Let's just be for real. Just be real.
I low-key agree with you, but we're gonna reel it back. Scran made a good point right here. He said Snarky J Snarky J was obsessed with Grogu and had hundreds of plushies and now calls him Groger and pretends he's a piece of shit and doesn't know his name. Beware of outsiders rewriting their past. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like revisionist history when it comes to people online and like in the YouTube space and review space of they want to not be looked at as like a Disney shill. They don't want to get looked at because everybody wants to be against the grain. No one wants to be a corporate dick sucker. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, like I could admit, like when I was a kid, I remember being in like primary school, like 9 or 10 or whatever,
right.
and talking with my friends about TCW, and like we watched the show and liked it, but like now I can look back and really, as an adult, be like, yeah, that was fucking shit. Most of that was awful, actually, and that's not real. That's not real Star Wars.
Yeah. I've had those conversations with people at the comic book store, and let's just say I'm looked at as like a hater. A lot of those people think that they see me come in and they're like gathered around talking about the new Star. There was guys. Okay, I'm not trying to like out myself or like out these people that I have a couple of them listen to the show and like they know who I am in real life.
Ooh.
So I will say this, like they were talking about Maul Shadow Lord and I walked in and immediately two of them were like, "Oh God," like, "Oh, like don't talk about your favorite thing around this guy." And I'm just like, oh, you guys must be talking about fake Star Wars. And they're like, how are you gonna call it fake Star Wars if Disney's running the IP and blah blah blah? I'm like, it's because you're fake fans, and then that just riles them up. But nonetheless, like I digress. In February, he said Rick and Morty fell off the season. They hired female writers. Narrow has a point. Maybe. Scran said Joshy Boy is a big one doing that. Doing what, Scran?
Faking like rewriting the past. Yeah.
Oddball said women ruined a lot of games. Sorry. Yeah. I think it's just the type of women that have gone into the game industry. It's the type of women that are like there's particular types of women that are involved in some comic books right now that I've discussed on Hang Out with Your Floppy and a few times before. And yeah, like I don't want to sound like a man hating or a woman hating basher. Whoa. But yeah, like there's just
on what I said about women in fandoms. Let's just say I was being polite with the way I said that. I could have said it.
Yeah.
I have worse opinions about that.
Yeah, you're like stupid bitch. You
No,
can
I
keep
mean, like,
going, but
gatekeeping is important, guys, and not just against people who are fake fans. But okay, let's just
yeah,
fucking move on.
yeah,
Trying
we'll
to
move
get into
on.
a whole thing.
We'll go into something that it'll make us this is something that'll make everybody happy. All right, because new stuff came out aside from the mango and tofu slop came out. But we
Something
also
good
had
actually came out.
something good came out, and we're gonna talk about it right now. We're gonna discuss Spider Noir, and that one was a good one. So let's get into some absolute cinema. All right. So, Jesus Christ. Sorry. So, Spider Noir. I can't set up my clips right to save my life, guys. So Spider Noir came out, guys, and holy shit. This, like, you know what? There's gripes. I get it. We'll get to it, but first I want to just say, like, what a breath of fresh air. What a like a nice palate cleanser after
Yeah,
digesting so much shit
yeah.
lately.
After watching the final season of The Boys, it's good to actually have something that's like worth watching.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I heard The Boys was awful. Like the
It was
finale, I saw clips and I've heard it
the
was
whole.
horrible.
I would say like season 4 and 5 both are just complete shit. And yeah,
Yeah.
like the final season especially, they had like budget cuts or something was going on. It was just fucking terrible. But yeah,
I don't
Spider
know.
Noir.
I don't know a whole lot about The Boys cuz I stopped after season 2, and the things that happened after season 2, I probably should have checked out of Game of Thrones earlier, to be honest, but I don't, and no, I don't want to start talking about Game of Thrones, so just stop. But season 2, after The Boys season 2, I checked out. I just dropped off and stopped watching it. Apparently that was a good choice, because the things that I heard about, like, season 3, season 4, and then like the people that were running the show, especially like the main, I don't know if he was the main producer, the main director of the show, but he was like talking shit to people online, calling people like losers and chuds, and making fun of like one's particular side of like a political spectrum. So I don't know everything about it. I just know
Anyway,
that
I will say, like, on Spider Noir, like, after watching the whole thing, I'm like, if they did a season 2, that would be fucking cool.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So real quick, and it was mentioned in the chat right now. Oddball said, "Nor, I haven't watched yet. Are you doing spoilers?" So I've only watched
first 2 episodes. We'll just
I've
maybe
only
we'll get into
watched
spoilers, maybe not.
yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes. Me personally, Narrowdark just fucking ran through it. He just ran through it and watched all 8 episodes like a fucking no lifer. And maybe that was just miscommunication between the two of us. He wasn't sure if I was watching the full show or not. He just did it, and I didn't ask him if he was watching the full show, or if he, like, we just didn't have communication about it. So I only watched the first 2 episodes. We're going to talk about the first 2 episodes. And yes, we're probably going to do some spoiler talk. So if you haven't watched Spider Noir at all, maybe you want to check out and just come back like in like 30-40 minutes or so
I
when we're
will
done
say
talking about it.
there's nothing like seriously crazy to be spoiled in the first 2 episodes anyway.
Yeah, like, but there's also like some different things about it. If you're a fan of this character from the comic book, there's not a lot of there's some things that they definitely changed a lot about it.
There's also some stuff that I wasn't expecting that I thought was a nice surprise.
Yeah, and then February right now said, "I didn't adore Spider Noir, but this is the direction Sony needs to go in." I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, they should do more stuff like this than something
Yeah,
like fucking
and
Venom,
so the thing
Carnage
is,
or whatever.
yeah. So Jesus, don't get me started, or you'll get me started, but later. So Spider Noir, this is a Sony production released on Amazon Prime. Now, when I saw this was first coming out, like the trailer and everything was being released, I didn't know exactly like the full the full property rights that were going on with this, because he wasn't called there. He's not called Spider-Man. He's called the Spider in this
Yeah.
universe. He's called the Spider. And like I said, we're going to talk some spoiler talk. So if you don't want to be spoiled, like check out for now and then come back later. This isn't Peter Parker. This is
he's not
Ben
Peter
Reilly.
B. Parker. I thought it was going to be the same version of the character from Into the Spider-Verse, but pretty quickly, like it's Ben Reilly. And
so the thing is that I don't know why they chose to go with Ben Reilly, but I think that it has to do with the fact that the whole deal with Marvel and Sony
maybe they can't
is
call
right now
him
that the
Parker.
only Peter Parker that can be used is in the Sony Marvel universe, the collaboration with actual Marvel films right now.
But
and
they could potentially then do like a Miguel O'Hara 2099 show.
Maybe they can. I don't know if they're like I don't know how far they're gonna take this with like the alternate universe stuff, but we've already seen their attempts at other characters in the Spider-Man universe, like the Rogues Gallery. We've seen what they did with Venom. We've seen them drop Craven, and then we've seen them drop Morbius, and then Madam Web. So they've released these solo films, and man, how forgetful were those, right? Like, how forgetful were all of those films?
I think there's a clear like different direction with those movies. It feels like very much like studio driven sort of thing, and this feels more like a creative project.
So and Narrowdark, you say yes or no to this comment that February made? He's Peter Parker. He changed his name to Ben Reilly and shows continuity.
Yeah, maybe he
is
did.
that you watched all 8 episodes?
I might have missed that, but based on some stuff in the future episodes, you hear about his origin. It's like, yeah, I guess. Maybe I just missed that.
Okay, well, I apologize to everybody for not watching all 8 episodes.
Yeah,
or else I could have given you a proper.
But it is Ben Reilly. Like he's called Ben Reilly the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And
so
I think like if. Yeah, that's one of there's like that his name being different, but also there's like one other thing about him that I think is a bit strange. I don't really understand. Like he seems to have, and this isn't really a spoiler, he seems to have all the powers of Spider-Man, but he doesn't seem to have like super strength.
Okay.
Like he seems pretty durable. He gets hurt,
but he gets his shit rocked.
Yeah, but he seems to like. Well, I can't spoil it, but there's a part in the final episode where it's like, yeah, if he was a normal guy, that would have just straight up killed him.
Yeah,
but he seems to be able to continue fighting.
So some background
in particular, he doesn't seem to have.
So some background that I did on the character of like this version of Spider-Man. Obviously this is an alternate universe Spider-Man in the Noir reality where it's like 1930s Depression era Spider-Man shit. And the first appearance of this version of Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir was back in 2008 in the solo titled series called Spider-Man Noir issue number 1. And he was created by David Hine and Fabrice Sapolsky. And, of course, Stan Lee has credits on the creation of him because he's a different Spider-Man and Stan Lee's created Spider-Man. We all know that. But I think that the version that we're getting in this show, as far as like what I've seen in the first 2 episodes, it's possibly leaning maybe more towards the Spider-Verse version that we saw in the Miles Morales movies. So from what I gathered, right, like this is a gripe that a couple people had when I was like going through and watching a few reviews around here on YouTube. Spider-Man Noir in the comic book is way more serious. Like it's a way more darker, serious toned kind of story.
I also think the look of the character in the show looks more like the Into the Spider-Verse character than he does in the original comic. Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, it must be Peter B. Parker. But and it also at the start he even says like, someone once asked me what universe I'm from.
Yeah, and he says like, as far as I could tell, this is the only one I've ever known. Or
so it's like So
Like
it's like,
he's like, I
what
couldn't
does that
tell them
even?
because this.
What does that mean?
Like yeah, like who asked him that question? I think maybe that's just an ambiguous thing that they made him say. That way they can like put at ease some kind of questioning. But if anything, that just made more questions pop up. In my opinion, that just made me want to ask even more stuff.
But yeah, like characterization being different aside, I did like Nicolas Cage's like whole performance. I think he was great in this.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is, like I was saying, like this is leaning more towards the Spider-Verse version that we saw, and obviously everyone knows Nicolas Cage voiced Spider-Man Noir in the animated films, and I think that this is, they hired Nicolas Cage to do this. I'm not completely mad about that. I like Nicolas Cage, even though he's, a lot of people have like mixed feelings about him as an actor. I think he's awesome. I like him when he with like the classic rage cage moments that we get in a lot of his like real B like independent films are great. I love him in Willy's Wonderland. I love
You seen
him in
Mandy? I think it was called.
yeah, Mandy. He's a nutcase in
Great,
that one. Yeah, he's
great
great
in
in
that.
that one. I fuck man, I even like the old school Ghost Rider movie that he was in back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, he's
So
even crazier in the second one.
yeah, yeah. So the only thing that I say is I just wish that Nicolas Cage is an older man, and
Yeah,
he's very it's very clear that he's an older man. And when he has the mask on and he's like doing his thing, and like the action sequences that I've seen so far and like the web swinging and everything, like it looks good. Like I don't have any gripes about it. It looks good. The action in this is actually surprisingly good.
yeah. On
And
the action and the CG, I think watching it in color probably would have made it worse or more distracting. I should say.
I watched episode 1 in color first, and then I watched it in black and white, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like, so black and white is the way to go. If you're gonna watch this in color, like you can, but if you want like the true experience, a lot of the
Yeah,
angles of the show that they show you, and like a lot of the camera shots and a lot of the like the transitions and a lot of the things that they're trying to show you in this universe, like the world building in this is actually pretty well done. Like this is a time, like a period piece project,
yeah.
and
Like
it makes you feel
from what
like
I've
it is.
heard, from what Nicolas Cage, I saw a quote where he's like, the performance he gives is like influenced by the fact that it would be in black and white. And I think when you get the choice, I think on Amazon you get the choice between watching it in color or it's
Yeah.
called authentic black and white. So like the intended viewing experience is to watch it in black and white.
Yep, I agree.
And there's a lot of stuff in the show, the way it's shot, the way it's filmed, certain stuff. It's like this is clearly meant to be an homage to noir stuff, and it would
Oh
only
yeah,
work
dude.
if it was
And
black and
like
white.
this, and what's like one of the biggest takeaways when I started watching episode 1 in black and white, because I paid attention when I was watching it in color, but I paid extra attention in the black and white version of episode 1, and I couldn't help but like I don't want to say that I had the feelings of the same kind of like aura and energy from like if I was watching the Tim Burton Batman films, but I don't know why, but it made me like think about that when I was
Because
watching this.
it's like it feels like old school,
It took you there.
classic. It's got
It
like a
kind of
classic feel
took
to
you
it.
there. It kind of
Yeah.
took you there, and you kind of felt it, and you're like, oh, like this has its own energy to it, and I like it. And I haven't felt this way about something like fuck me, man. Like I'm not a big fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and I kind of like this better than those.
This is just as a story, even with the Spider-Man content in it, I think it is far superior in
Yeah,
terms of
it's
filmmaking as
made
well. Like and the lead actor, no offense to Tom Holland, but Nicolas Cage has just got a certain level of star power in my mind where it's like, this is great. He's fucking sick.
yeah, I love him. I love him, and I can't really stand Tom
I will
Holland.
say,
So maybe I'm biased, whatever.
like
But
on Nicolas Cage's appearance, it's like clearly not the same guy when he's in the costume, So clearly a different guy.
Yeah. But you know
But
what? Like, what kind of saves it for me is that he was already the Spider for such a long time, and then now this is a version of the Spider where he's been retired for 5 years already. He put the suit away, and he's been a regular guy. That's why he says like he's like at the same. He's like on one end, He's like, am I an extraordinary guy? Yes, I am. But he's like, am I a regular guy? I am that. Yeah, I am too. You know what I mean? Like he the way that it's written, man, the way that this is written, the dialogue, and it's not majorly like fucking like, oh, I gotta solve a crime, see? Like it
yeah,
doesn't
it's not like a full
sound like
blown
that.
parody. It feels more
Yeah.
like a love letter to noir.
Yeah. This
As a
does
genre.
it doesn't they don't all talk like that. They don't all talk like how people would talk in New York in the 30s. But it feels like it if the
And
aura is there.
I really like Silvermane,
I
who is
do, yeah.
one of the main antagonists. Like really fun.
Yes.
Really, that's
Yes.
what a show needs.
Don't
Like a
say
good
fun.
villain. Like
Don't say fun.
I really enjoyed it, guys. I really enjoyed that
I really
character.
enjoyed it.
I really, it was fun. But yeah, like great. Donald Gleason, I think is.
I know. I just know that he was in Paddington too. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I know he was in fucking everything under the sun. Okay, I know he's a great actor.
Yeah, really. Yeah, like he's a great actor. Nick Cage is a great actor. Both of them in a show together, and it's just like.
You know what? Also, like, was a bit of a surprise to me that they put in Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, I like that.
You
I
know
like
what?
that character.
Because like we haven't had a live action Robbie Robertson like portrayal on screen since Bill Nunn in the Sam Raimi trilogy.
Yeah, and he's like kind of working for the Bugle, kinda, and
well, I like again, I shot myself in the foot. I know by only watching the first 2 episodes, but he's like independent journalist deal. Like he lost his job because I don't know if he was reporting on the Spider, and then because the Spider disappeared and went away, then he kind of like lost his juice, and that was like his shtick. And he's trying to get Ben to come back as the Spider because he's like the city needs a hero, and like he's really pulling on his string or pulling on his webs in the first episode when they reconnect and they're talking. And
so I will get into a little bit of a spoiler for later on, but you find out that Ben Reilly used to be a photographer and he'd always take photos of the Spider.
Okay, so that's still a thing. All right, that's fine. That's cool. That's not like spoiler territory, really. But man, dude. So, fuck. I don't. We don't have to go like moment by moment, but like the whole plot as it was unfolding in front of me, like I was like in it. Like it had me, and I was locked in.
Dude, so you've only watched the first 2. I think like episode 3, he's doing a lot of stuff in that episode. I'm like, he's fucking cool. He's got it. He's onto it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Again, like I said, like man, dude, I don't know if I'll continue this talk after I watch the rest of the episodes. Maybe you can come on, hang out with your floppy on Monday, and we can talk about it then again. But yeah, like the first 2 episodes of this, like if it gets better from that, then even better. Like I welcome it. I'm excited. And
I like the fact that he's a PI and like
that's exactly
they actually
what I was
lean
about to say.
into it.
Yeah.
And he's doing PI stuff and like he seems pretty competent.
You know what, man? You know what? Some people might disagree with this, but in just the first 2 episodes alone, who I like kind of got a kick out of? I got a kick out of Janet, the secretary. Like she was making me kind of chuckle here and there. Like I can't lie. And she's not like a fucking girl boss insert.
She feels like a classic noir assistant secretary.
Yeah, like she feels
character.
like somebody who's been working for a guy who like barely pays her, and he gets barely any work, and who knows if he's actually like good at his job or if he maintains like clientele like that. But she clearly from like what I gathered from like the first episode, of course, was she's been working for him for a while and she wants to get paid. It's obviously it's during the Depression era. She even brings it up. She's like, in this economy, like she's like, we're in a depression, right? And he like turns away $30, and she's like, are you fucking crazy? And so yeah, like I thought she was kind of funny. I got a kick out of her as a
And
character.
on Robbie Robinson, which is something I wasn't expecting to see, is like there is actually like racism, but it's era appropriate. So where it's like he might have lost his job because he only got it because he was like reporting on the spider, and because he's black, it's like, well, we're not going to keep you on. You don't.
Like the thing in
us.
episode 2 when he's following and finds Addison's wife at the hotel.
Yeah, and there's like a whites only thing, but then she says
finds
like,
his way in. Like all I have to do is scream a white woman being harassed by a black man. How do you think that's going to end? Like,
it's used in a way that feels appropriate.
Yeah, it didn't feel like preachy. It didn't feel preachy and like in your face, like hot, like fuck you. You know what I mean? It felt appropriate, and he didn't like get on a soapbox and like start exclaiming to her like, you need to check your privilege. Like it doesn't get like that. He just, he's like, all right, fair enough, but like he's like he claps back at her with like his own little kind of like blackmail. He's like, oh, I can scream too, bitch. And then she fucking opens the door, and then they have their little like conversation about her husband. So like that, yeah, like it's not in your face. Like obviously they're not going to hide the fact that he is a black man in this time period in America when it's probably not so great, but for him, but he's still like he's still persevering and making and looking like he's fucking going through life and not taking shit from people, so I like it, honestly. So yeah, like seeing Robbie Robertson in the show was a nice little like a nice little addition, I guess you could say. And then we said Silvermane, the main crime boss. Obviously we've known him from the comics and the animated series. He's in this one as well. He has his like group of lackeys, which a few of the lackeys that he has are actually some I guess you could say like mutants, or not mutants, like what's the word I'm looking for?
Mutated superpower,
like mutated superpower beings, because we
got one that showed up in the first episode I was not expecting to see at all.
In the first episode we get Flint Marko, aka Sandman,
that was sick. Who is Addison? Who is Addison supposed to be from the comics?
I don't know off the top of my head.
There's another character that shows up that I thought was a more like well-known, popular Spider-Man villain, but apparently it's supposed to be someone else with similar abilities.
I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I gotta watch the rest of it. But yeah. But I was actually surprised. Yeah, when that because like if it's more towards the end of episode 1, but there is like a bit of a fight scene between the Spider or Ben Reilly and Flint Marko on a rooftop. And
I was expecting it. Oh, it's just Flint Marko mobster.
Yeah, exactly.
He's actually Sandman.
He like gets up, and he's not like fully like breaking down and turning into like a big sand monster, but he like like the powers are there, but they're not like over the top. They're kind of like scaled down to like the small little feeling of this world. And Sandman, he has the abilities, but it's just like, and apparently it's something that just like happens to him randomly. It's not something that he can necessarily control, as we saw in like episode 2. And
yeah, you'll get into why that is.
Yeah. So like seeing that was very interesting.
His character I thought handled really well, where it's like clearly a bit of an antagonist, but also not like a terrible person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like it feels like an authentic representation of what Flint Marko could be like.
Yeah, like Flint Marko was a sympathetic character in the comics, in the Sam Raimi trilogy, and I kind of have the same vibe from that in this show. So, good on them for like maintaining that character's kind of like archetype already, like in a new property. Honestly, that was impressive. Real quick, Stig Kenobi's in the building. Shout out to Stig, friend of the channel. Good to see you, bro. We're doing well. Hope you're doing good. And then February asked us a question when we were going on our tangent. He said, what other Spider-Man TV show spinoffs would you want? Man, you know what, dude? Scarlet Spider is somebody that I would love to see them focus on. Like we could get another Ben Reilly version.
again.
Yeah, if they give us another Ben Reilly and then go Scarlet Spider, I wouldn't be mad at that.
That would be
Like,
cool.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
If I had to choose between like getting a new spin-off or getting a second season of this, I think I would just stick with this because I really enjoyed it.
Fair,
But
fair, that's fair.
I do think it like it might be a little expensive, but I do think like a Miguel O'Hara show,
Yeah, 2099.
based on what I'm hearing about contracts and limitations that Sony might have, I think that's probably the best, unless they just do Ben Reilly again and Scarlet Spider. Like that also probably be cheaper than a 2099 show. Because you'd have to go to Counter Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
for
would.
2099, and you do like the Beast People, and you.
Yeah, we can. Well, I can probably think about this more, and I can give you another example or two February by the time we're done talking about this.
I think like
Oddball said, "Hurry up."
the reason Noir works so good is because there's elements of Spider-Man, but it feels so distinct and its own thing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like I just think they did a great job. And if this is the direction Sony goes with like future Spider-Man projects where they want to do like a TV show instead of doing it in films, I think this would be a better idea, better use of their resources.
And you know, like I was saying when we like brought this topic up, there's some like detraction from like comic heads that say, you know, like this is a little bit of a dumbed down version of Spider-Man Noir, like the characterization, because you know, you could probably tell me, and you could let me know if like it leans that way more in the episodes. Just say like yes or no anytime I say something here. But Spider-Man Noir in the comic, he like uses firearms and he has no problem killing people.
I think he pulled a gun out in the first episode.
His secretary did.
When he actually, I'm thinking of the guy who shot Addison.
Yeah, that was
you know what? I will say the second episode where he like stops Silvermane.
He just threatens to kill him.
No, but like he uses a guy as like a human shield, and that guy gets shot. And
killed. Yeah. He does. Yeah, he did that. But he didn't shoot him himself. Yeah, of course. Like he's no Batman, but
he has no gripes about killing. But he doesn't use a gun.
He's no Batman, but
as far as I
definitely know,
he
has
doesn't
that
shoot
edge
anyone.
to him.
Maybe if he had a gun, I think he's a PI like that. It definitely makes sense if he would have a pistol on him.
And then, well, you know, going back up in the chat, February brought it up earlier, saying Sony can't legally have Peter Parker drink or kill in the leaked Marvel contract, using Ben Reilly and calling Spider Noir as a loophole. And so, right there, like they don't have to be held by that; they can have him kill people in this. And isn't it rated R? Like,
yeah, guy gets his fucking throat slit open.
Yeah. I figured the show's rated R.
Not having a gun means he has to be more like lean more into doing Spider-Man stuff. So it's a good excuse to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Instead of pulling a gun out.
Of course.
But if he just had a gun on him as well, like as like on his hip or something, like that would be fine.
Yeah,
they could have done that, but I'm fine if they didn't do that.
I'm fine with him not. Yeah, I'm okay with him not having a pistol on him. I'm just saying that, you know, there's, like I said, there's just some chatter about the fact that he's a lot more darker in this show. He feels a little more like the Spider-Verse, a little more like there's a little more comedy to the story than would be expected from.
Yeah, but like to me personally, I think that is fine. You know, I'm not going to cry. My main gripe with it is the fact that he does not seem to have super strength. And it's like that's one of the things.
I think when I was looking in his origin and his power abilities earlier today, when I was like doing a little research, apparently Spider Noir like is like immune to pain. But I didn't see anywhere that he has like super strength is on his like skill set, but he has like a high pain immunity.
That actually, and like I think
that might explain that, if anything.
The pain, actually, he says something about that in one of the later episodes. So that's why I was like, oh, he must be like durable.
Yeah.
in a way that a normal person isn't. And also, like, I'll just say he gets his head slammed into a car and the car like dents. And it's like if he was a regular guy, he'd be dead. You
Of
know,
course,
like,
yes.
so that would make sense. And also, since if he doesn't have super strength, that would also lend like, yeah, why that's why he would have a gun on him.
Yeah,
You might need that,
for sure.
you know?
Yeah. So I like, and I like the aspect that I'm trying to reel back because I haven't seen past episode 2, but like what we see in episode 1, like how you brought it up, how you like to see that he's the private investigator and they actually have him doing like being like some Dick Tracy shit, and he's actually like following up on cases, but he's realizing the scale and the actual size of the bullshit, that the shitstorm that he's stepping into, and he's like saying nope, I don't want it, I don't want to do it, like he was trying to tell that guy Patrick Donegal, the other private eye that was going after Addison, and then shoots him in the oil
And then
warehouse.
wants to like kind of like blackmail
they want to blackmail
Silvermane,
Silvermane, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, well, I like living, so he's like, I'm leaving it alone. And then Donegal didn't leave it alone, and that's why we saw him meet his end, basically. Or I think I'm not sure if that's because Donegal actually went for it. I think it was just because they were trying to gain information on Addison and who hired Addison to burn down Silvermane's mansion. So I think they just want to know.
The two cases where it's like Flint is missing and he needs to find Flint, and then it's like who tried to kill Silvermane. I think they both work really well together and like feed into each other for a certain reason that I won't get into, but
right.
Like all of that stuff worked really good. And
and then we had the introduction of Cat Hardy character, who the play on words, Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, Cat Hardy, haha. But that's another character that gets introduced into episode 1, where of course that's how we meet Flint Marko, because Flint Marko is kind of like the overseer of the hotel that she sings at, because Silvermane owns that hotel, and she's like an investment of his, like to keep bringing people into the lounge that she sings at. So Flint Marko's kind of like her bodyguard, and he works for Silvermane as well, but he's also not like he's not like we said, like Flint Marko's not an all bad guy, basically. But Cat Hardy gets introduced, and this was probably one of like the small gripes that I had, where there's like the musical number where she's singing. She gets a spot where she's singing the full song, and it's kind of focusing in on Ben Reilly's face, and he's like falling in love with this.
Yeah, he's like infatuated with her, and I'm like, okay.
He's infatuated. He's kind of falling over her every time they talk. Like he's trying to hit her with like some like fucking like hey toots Riz, and she's like saying like nothing much, doll, and they're like the acting is good. The acting is good. I think that
back and forth is actually kind of like, at least when they first meet and he sits with her, and it's like, like that conversation was pretty good. And then, her character, I think, was used well.
I think they utilize her well. Obviously I can only speak from how limited I am with the knowledge of what I've seen, but I think that the dynamic between her and Ben is decent, and then like the sympathy that she feels towards Flint Marko as like a man, that was actually kind of interesting for me to see, after the fight with Flint Marko and Ben Reilly on the rooftop, and then she storms in and says like leave him alone, and she's like caressing him. Like I don't know if there's like a romance thing between those two characters at all, but I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if there was. And like the way that he kind of looks at her through the window in episode 2 when Ben Reilly's looking for him.
I think the climax of the show, without getting into it, like when it comes to certain characters like Cat and Flint, I thought it was like it made perfect sense.
Yes.
Especially, and then other stuff like Silvermane and where his character ended, and Ben Reilly's journey in the show. Like I think everything made sense. Like it all meant like the way these characters are written, the way they're acting, it doesn't feel out of nowhere. It doesn't feel out of character. It just like based on what we know about them and based on their story and how it ends, like it all made sense, and that's the least you can do, you know?
Yeah, it was done very well. It made sense. You ask questions, but you're not asking like out there retarded questions. You
You
know
know,
what I mean?
yeah, and you're not asking like how did this even happen in a way that's like, oh, this doesn't make sense, and they don't
Yeah,
explain it. It's like if
they
you
don't
ask
like.
something,
You
if
just
you
gotta
ask a
pay
question,
attention.
like yeah, and I like episode 3, like really fucking good, like really good episode.
Well, now, yeah, you got me really annoyed that I didn't keep going, but that's on me. I'm gonna keep going, and then I'll talk more about it on Monday on that stream. I think that for my comic book fans out there, there was a nice little like Easter egg drop when Ben's following Kat Hardy to the hotel that she's having that meeting with the mayor at. And that was the whole reason why he was hired to follow her, was because he's the quote unquote husband of her, is like wanting to know if she's cheating on him. And so he follows her to the hotel. And then when he walks inside the lobby for this hotel, that she goes inside the lobby, she goes into her elevator. He walks up to the desk of the guy that's like sitting in the lobby, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm here to see Boris Karloff." And then he's like, "Boris Karloff doesn't live here." And he's like, "Well, you might know him under his stage name. It's Frank N. Stein." And he's like, the whole time they're having this little back and forth, he's like looking at the elevator to see what floor she's going to. And then the guy, the bellhop, I don't want to call him a bellhop, but I think he's just like a security guard or whatever for the building. He's kind of like picking up on what he's doing, looking at him, looking at the elevator. And then he's like, yeah, bro, like, what are you doing here? And then he's like, all right. He's like, I'll let myself out. Like, like no worries, no problems. And, he gets his information that he wants. But I think that nice little mention of Boris Karloff was funny. And, for those that don't know, Boris Karloff was the Frankenstein actor for back in 1931 for the classic Frankenstein film, and he came back 2 more times for like sequel films to play the character, reprise the role. And then also Boris was featured as a host to the Tales of Mystery comic book published by Gold Key Comics in 1962. So I thought that was a nice little Easter egg tidbit for like comic book heads.
On the that scene when he goes up to the penthouse,
yeah,
he uses the stairs.
I know. When like he like looks all the way up, and then he just kind of sighs, and he's like, and then he's just walking up the ladders, like he's walking up the fucking balcony ladders.
But because like he stops the mayor from hitting Kat, but then he clearly like jumps down.
Oh yeah, because
he's like already on the street,
not getting
So
but
and
he
we
walked
also
up
see
there he walked up there to be like a regular guy, but then when he had to get out of there fast, he was like, okay, I guess I got to swing out.
Yeah,
so.
but we also see, I forget this might be I must be in episode 2 where he like hangs off the bridge under the bridge.
Yes.
So he does have like
henchmen take him in the car.
Yeah, so he does have like Spider-Man abilities. They don't do it.
They haven't gone. They didn't leave.
No, I mean like you don't see that ability much in the show.
No.
That is one of the only times you see him do something like that.
Like stick into a wall, like stick into a surface.
Yeah, you see it like one other time, and then like you see you get to know about the origin of his abilities. So when he first gets it, you kind of see it as well.
Yeah. I liked the season 2, the whole scene with Silvermane going to the docks for the whiskey deal that he's making, because this is there is like prohibition stuff going on in the background, like the mayor's campaign that they talk about and everything. Robbie Robertson's like covering it, and then Ben's asking him like, oh, like how does his campaign go? And then he's going off of like ending prohibition for people. So that's like one of the main businesses that Silvermane is like operating in New York, is like bootleg liquor. And his henchmen told him not to go to the docks yet because he wants to keep him alive, because he's like there's people out gunning for him to kill him. But when Silvermane's heading to the docks, and then that's when we get Ben or the spider swinging in on the convoy of cars. Like, I love that scene. That scene was so good. And it made me think of classic Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man on top of like the thugs car in the Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 film. And like, it's just like it's like poetry. It rhymes. You don't have to change it. If it's a good
and
formula that works before, it'll work again.
this is something like I it's kind of a cringe line, but like when he's swinging around, like, yeah, that really feels like Spider-Man, and it's something that is kind of lacking from the Tom Holland stuff.
Yeah.
Just that feeling
Yeah.
of like seeing him swing, and it's like it just feels like classic Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah. I want more Spider-Man, less Iron Man. That's all I have to say when it comes to Tom Holland's version. I know we're going off right now, guys. I see you guys in the chat. February said a superior Spider-Man show would be fire. Oh, like the Dr. Octopus Spider-Man version. That'd be kind of neat. February also said, what Spider-Man villains do you want in this Noir season 2? Well, I know we got Sandman. I know they bring in Electro. I saw that.
Oh, so
teased.
that's not Electro, apparently.
Oh, it's not? Okay. But he
apparently
has like the same abilities as
someone else. I liked that guy's performance, though. They also have Lonnie Lincoln in the first 2 episodes.
Tombstone?
Yeah. He's the black guy that Robbie
So
goes
that's
to see.
Tombstone. I figured that was Tombstone because they didn't say his name in the first 2 episodes, or the second episode.
Yeah,
they didn't
that's
say his
Lonnie
name.
Lincoln.
Okay, all right. Because Lonnie and Robbie in the original Spider-Man universe, they were friends when they were kids.
Yeah,
and stuff,
and that was also in like the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon as well.
Yeah,
with their origin. So I kind of like that they kind of had a thing.
Yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing like a noir version if they did like Smythe or
Alex,
I don't
the Spider Slayer.
If they
that
did
would
like
work because he's called the
if they did
Spider, and they
something
just
like that,
the Spider Slayer. What about
Yeah.
Big Wheel? Get a Big Wheel in this shit, dude.
maybe.
I'm trying to
Like
think
I
a
don't want them
noir
to do.
version
I don't
of
want them
this.
to do Rhino or like Scorpion. That won't make sense,
They
really.
well they do like
Or
okay,
if they do that one of them like that, like I'll have to see how they do it. But
based on how these characters got their powers, it kind of sets up the possibility of a Scorpion. But
okay, because I'm not sure how they would pull it off in this like era of this Spider story, but
and I don't know who like Spider Noir's like main adversary is, if it's a version of Green Goblin or not.
I think it's Green Goblin, or Norman Osborn is a character in the Noir comic, so I don't know if because I think yeah, he plays a big part. I have to read. I'm not into Marvel in the ins and outs of Marvel as much as I am with DC, guys. A lot of you guys know that already, but so like I'm trying to be fair because I know I'm very anal when it comes to DC adaptations, and I'm trying to be fair to the Marvel people if they're not happy with this or they're like questioning things in this. I'm trying to hear you guys out, but I did enjoy this a lot more than I thought I was going to. So I'm not trying to like discredit any like disparages that you guys have for this. And real quick, shout out to New York, Florida, man. It's been a minute since I've seen him in the chat. What's up, bro? He said, hail chat, hail decrepit, hail Narrowdark. How's it going tonight, fellas? It's going good. It's going good. We're just talking to some Spider-Man noir tisms, or Spider Noir, I guess you could say. Yeah, he said, haven't seen the show yet. Going to watch it tomorrow. Okay, no worries, man. We were getting into some little bit of spoiler talk right now in this convo, but I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Narrowdark's seen all 8 of them, and I was trying to keep it not too spoilery towards the ending, but we were talking a lot about like the first 2 episodes.
I will say, like, any sort of villain that shows up, I don't know if they could be any villain that's like got high tech in the comics,
right?
Because I don't think it would really be possible in this time period. Obviously you can do like people who are really intelligent have like a noir version of some high tech stuff, at least compared to the tech in the time period.
Right.
Kind of gives Frankenstein vibes if you think about it.
Right.
But maybe the lizard. That's something like a mad
Oh yeah, that
scientist
could work.
experimenting based on like how these characters got their powers. Like that definitely could happen.
Yeah, I'd be
Uh,
intrigued to see how they could do that. That would be interesting.
what about Hammerhead?
That would actually make a little bit more sense actually.
Or even like Silver Sable. Silver Sable. Not really a Spider-Man
Probably
like
not. Probably not
full-blown
too much.
antagonist, but
Yeah.
uh
Chameleon would be one.
Mysterio.
Mysterio could be one too. Mysterio, he could
I
be
think
like
that could be
dumbed
cool.
down. He could be like dumbed down on some like maybe like some like Houdini magician kind of thing. Or
And they
I
could
don't, I
make
don't
it
know.
they could make it more authentic to the comics where he like wanted to be an actor, but he was too ugly. And he
Right.
did like special effects stuff to do his like illusion. So they could definitely figure something out with that.
Yeah,
They could definitely do a
They could.
version of
Yeah.
that.
Man, dude, I know it's so off topic, but I keep forgetting that Clayface movie is a thing and that's going to be happening.
Dude, they should
I
have
keep
done a
forgetting
Noir
about that.
Clayface. You know why I'm
They-
thinking that? It's because this does kind of give me the same feeling of the animated Batman show.
Again, dude,
has
like
that
when I
same
when I
vibe.
watched the first episode, I thought of Tim Burton's Batman. I thought of 89 Batman for some reason because the world was built so well and it took
The
you
production
there.
design is like really good.
It
Really
took you
fucking
there,
good.
and so when I watched this, I just got sucked into this, and it took me there, and I just, yeah, I don't know why. I'm not saying that there's things that like it looks like Batman 89. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the fact that it just gave me that feeling of like this is its own thing, and it stands out very well.
Yeah, and
So
when something like this has like a distinct theming or style, it becomes really easy to be like, oh well, if we put this character in there, what could they be like in this setting?
yes,
You know, like we're talking about with these villains, like you can kind of come up with your own idea of what it could be like. And that's something that I think is why a lot of adaptations in the MCU kind of like struggle to be really good because it's kind of a bland setting and a bland like theming and everything is
yeah,
so
to
like
say the least.
kind of like boring in a way.
I
You
just
know,
think
like,
that when I watch superhero stuff and it's very modern, it takes me out of it.
yeah,
Like a very modern setting, it feels like something I could go out and see if I like smartphones and AI technology being mentioned and just like if it's a lot of that,
yeah.
it takes me out of
That's
it
one
because
of the
I'm not I'm not interested in modern stuff.
that's one of the good things about that Fantastic Four movie. It had such a
It's
distinct like setting and like style
because it
to where
feels like real 60s.
yeah, it felt really unique in comparison to the other fucking bullshit that we got.
Yeah, but I've watched the FF movie, but I don't know why. I don't really like it.
I think the whole cast was fucking miscast, and the story was kind of boring as well. But the actual setting, like the production design, that was good, and the music I thought was all right too. The music in this show is also really good. I love his like
The music in this
Spider-Man
is
thing.
great. Yeah,
Like
I like it.
everything's so, and I like his Spidey sense is almost like a I want to say like detective sense, like
like spider like Batman's detective vision. But no, yeah, when like he's rubbing his neck and they're like like he says like, "Oh, it's a headache," but like it's just bugging him. His spider sense is tingling.
and there are some moments in fights where I think it does seem like it works like a normal Spidey sense as well.
Right.
It seems like more advanced because he can use it for other stuff. But you'll see in episode 3.
Yeah, I'll just have to see more, man. But yeah, this was very surprising. This was it surprised me. Like I said, I don't know if it's 100% accurate to his comic, and like this character first appeared in 2008, so this character has been
almost 20 years ago.
That's 18 years ago.
Yeah.
18 years ago when this character was first released. I don't want to say that I'm like giving it more slack and like I'm not as hardcore on it like I said, I'm not a big Marvel guy, but even though he just came out 18 years ago as a character, like it, like be a little more like true to the character type. Like I know that the Spider-Verse films were very popular, and a lot of like kids and young people like those movies, yes, but this also this is I think that people can let their kids watch this, give or take a few scenes here and there,
I think
but
because it's black and white, you could probably get away with a kid seeing a guy get his
yeah,
throat slit out. Like,
yeah, or
but I will
maybe that's
say
the one thing you cover your kids' eyes for,
this
you know?
this because you can tell that it's made with like a lot of passion and love. Despite it being different, it's still a high quality show and really good. And
Yeah,
that's why I'm fine with it being different as opposed to something in the MCU that is different because what we're getting in return is shit anyway, or it's just not
yeah,
good. Like
yeah.
at the very least, this is a good show.
I think that this is a nice little wrench to throw in the gears that is like the Spider-Man like film franchise, or like just like the on-screen Spider-Man adaptations, because now everyone's going to watch the new Spider-Man what is it, Brand New Day,
Yeah. Oh
when the new
god.
Spider-Man movie comes out, people are just going to think of this, and people are going to go back to this and just be like, why is this better than this?
Yeah,
Like
like
I'm
if
not.
February, like what February just said. Yeah, I don't know anyone. I'll probably have to tell my sister about it. She's a normie, so I don't know if she's heard
Yeah,
about it or not. But I definitely think anyone who watches this, if
is
they're a
going to
fan
like
of
it.
that, like they'll like it for sure. It is it is good, and you know, comparing it to Brand New Day, that show looks fucking terrible. That movie looks terrible in comparison.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll also watch tomorrow.
like you said about it being set in modern day, like those movies,
Yeah,
it just feels so. It just doesn't feel right, you know. That's why
yeah,
the Raimi
like
movies still
like
hold up.
yeah, and because Spider-Man for me, I like 90s Spider-Man. I like 90s Spider-Man
You
comics.
know
I
what
like
they should
the
do
90s Spider-Man cartoon. Like Spider-Man is set in the 90s makes a lot more sense than the
after
2020s.
Secret Wars, which is going to come out next year. Uh, they're
Jesus.
most likely going to do some kind of reboot, but I'd really think it would be a good idea to reboot the universe and have it set like in the 90s.
That would be cool.
And then you can have the progression from like let's say early 90s to early 2000s and like actually have its own like feel to it because like everything in the MCU just feels so like nothing. It just doesn't feel unique enough. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have anything that really like gravitates me towards it, that I'm like, this really stands out and it really feels and it shines bright, you know? Yeah. Nah, but yeah, this I was very impressed with this. I was very happy with what I was seeing, and probably when we're done streaming tonight, I'm probably just going to go straight to episode 3, just cuz that's how that's how locked in I am for this. Like it's almost on the level that I feel when I was watching Invincible season 4. Like I just want to keep watching it. I just want to know what happens. That way I can watch it again and again.
Yeah, and like there wasn't really a point where I know exactly what's going to happen next. Like it was pretty good. You know, it's a good show. The writing's good.
Yeah,
I would give,
it
you
didn't
know,
seem all that predictable. It doesn't feel predictable, you know what I mean? Like I have a knack for watching movies and kind of like figuring out the plot early on. Like I'll sit there in my head and just kind of like swirl around ideas of what they're already giving me, and then I'll kind of come to a few conclusions. And eight times out of 10 I'm usually right. like I especially when it comes to like video games, I can kind of sniff out a video game plot, climax moments a lot before it happens, and it kind of bums me out. But that's just yeah, but I don't feel that way about this. Like this doesn't feel that predictable. I can't really pinpoint when I think certain things are going to happen as far as like what I've seen with the first 2 episodes. So yeah, I'm a fan of this, and I can't wait to watch more. Yeah, for sure. Did you
yeah.
like if you when you're watching this, like I feel like like this is just a couple things that I saw, like I wrote down like for my end notes of this topic. But like when you see the suit, like I really like the suit. I like the mask and the aviator like goggles and stuff, because apparently this is supposed to be his uncle Benjamin's like old aviation like outfit and goggles and stuff that he
Yeah,
fought with in the war.
yeah, that look, like I think it gives like the silhouette is really good because there
Yeah.
are shots where he's like perched like Spider-Man, like
Yeah.
you'd expect to see, and I think with the hat and the cloak, the jacket, like really
Yes.
good. You also see him, I think in episode 3 without the hat and the jacket,
Oh,
and I
really?
like
Okay.
that, which actually looks more like he does in the original comic because he doesn't have that in that look. He has like this black leather vest sort of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah,
And you know what? If anything, dude, like this made me want to go and read the comic book. This it's rare that like a movie or a show in modern day times now that comes out about a hero where I actually want to go. Like that's how I feel like again Invincible season 4. Like I already have the hardcover compendium on order now for the next issues of Invincible that I want to read, because I can't wait for season 5. So I want to go read. I'm gonna go order Spider-Man Noir, like the collected, like the graphic novel or the trade paperback or whatever for the origin of this character, because now I want to know. Now I want to read about this character and know more.
yeah, and I really hope it gets a season 2 because it definitely deserves it.
I think if the good press about this, like I know February said like IRL people like not really knowing too much. If you're in tune and you guys are nerds and you guys are already knew about this ahead of time, then of course we're all probably going to be telling a lot of people. Like word of mouth does wonders, like for a lot of good projects. It just only takes a matter of time. This has been out what, 2 days?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
so like
I completely, and honestly, like I don't even know what I was gonna say.
it's okay.
It's good.
I was just
It's
saying, like,
fucking good, guys.
this has only been out 2 days, and it's already got a lot of praise online. Like, I saw a lot of the bigger YouTubers that review stuff kind of like giving it its flowers and giving it good kudos so far. So that's a good sign to me.
And February just said, "You more excited for the Sony Spider-Man reboot universe or no?" It depends on what you mean. Like the MCU reboot Spider-Man series, that could be decent, but like anything they do in the movies that's not Spider-Man with Spider-Man in it, and if they do any sort of villain origin thing again, it's probably going to be just as bad as it's always been.
Yeah. We'll get into it. That's going to be a good segue because we have a nice little surprise for you guys after this this topic cuts out. But yeah, all in all, I know you've seen 1 through 8 episodes on this. You've watched the whole season, and if you, I'm not going to ask you to give it like a 1 through 10 rating, but if you had to rate this, like what would kind of like be the words or the figures you would say that you would rate this as a whole project?
I think in terms of just its overall presentation, like the production design,
Yeah,
I would say it's probably a 10 out of 10.
for production design, 10 out of 10.
Like, and overall, I'd say it's up there with like it's one of the best shows I've seen in a while. It's a lot better than other shows that get more praise and seen as like
I just
more
think
of
that
a,
out of the Marvel Disney Plus shows that I've seen, this beats every one of them.
absolutely
Like
anything.
I've
I
only
think this
watched a
is
couple. I've only watched
better
like
than anything post
I've
Endgame. Like, there's
yeah,
nothing that
I've
comes
only
close to this.
watched a few shows. I haven't watched every single show. I'm so out of the loop with all the Marvel Disney Plus shows.
I think
but-
Nicolas Cage as the main character, along with the writing and the directing, like really makes this show. I don't think it could
and the
really
supporting characters really do good job too.
every character, no character is like unbearable.
Yeah, no
There's
character
so
is
many
unbearable, and
unbearable
you don't
characters
feel
in the
wasted.
MCU. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no one feels wasted.
like I was saying, like every character's decisions that all make sense, where the story goes, where the characters end up, everything works, everything makes sense, which is a lot more than you
Yeah.
can say for a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, if I had to slap a number on this just from watching the first 2 episodes, I'd say this is already feeling like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Like
Yeah,
I
that
want to
seems like
give
a
it I want to
fair
give it
rating.
higher, but I got to watch the rest of the show to give it like an official rating. And like I said, on Monday on Hangout with Your Floppy, by then I'll have watched all the rest of the show, and I'll talk more about it on that day on that stream, and maybe we'll see if we can have Narrowdark come on that stream so we can continue the conversation. But yeah, Spider-Man or Spider Noir, really good job. I like this a lot, and top notch job for sure. All right. Let's that being said, we had we have a little surprise for you guys now at the end of this. We're going to I know I said it in the title. I said at the end of it I said Batman game tier list, but in the background of the stream before we went live tonight, we had a last minute change. So now because we talked about Spider Noir, we're going to be doing a little tier list, but not the one that I was advertising for you guys. So we are going to be doing a Spider-Man movie tier list tonight for the end of the show. So we can all have you guys can give your input in the chat. Let us know what you guys think as far as placement for how you feel about this. But let's go ahead and let's have a little fun, and we can do some tier list action right now. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. But all right, so what we have to work with is the existing, I think they gave us, sorry, my scrolling is a little off. So right here, they gave us the original Sam Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. And then we got, of course, the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 1, and then is that Amazing Spider-Man 2? That's got to be. I want to say it is. And then, of course, we got Far From Home, where we got Homecoming, Far From Home, and then
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Okay, thank you. And then we have the Spider-Verse movies with Miles Morales. We got the 3 Venom films. We got Morbius. We got Madam Web, and then we got Craven. So these are all of the existing Spider-Man and a Spider-Man affiliated films that we're going to go ahead and rank for you guys. So this will be fun. So right off the bat, of course, let's start with the classic, the amazing, or not the amazing, but the first Spider-Man film that we ever saw live action, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Where do you automatically think that's going to be placed right there in Narrowdark?
I think we're going to go with S tier.
You want to go S?
Maybe A.
Because I was thinking A. I'm like, this is a high A.
I think top of A, and then maybe Spider-Man 2 could be S tier. But yeah,
because I was gonna automatically just throw Spider-Man 2 in S tier because
I think that looks right.
Yeah, that looks right. That sounds proper to me. And real quick, we had a question from February. Who's your favorite Spider-Man, regardless of the quality of their movies? You know what? That's a good question because I think Andrew Garfield is a very well done Spider-Man. I just think that the writing, a lot of the writing for the stories for his movies are just really kind of all over the place and not really.
Yeah, I think he
well.
does. I think he's a really good Spider-Man. Yeah, it is just the plot of those movies kind of hold it back from being good.
Yeah, but I really enjoy Andrew Garfield as the character. I think
I would have
he's
much
a good
preferred
casting.
Andrew Garfield in the MCU as opposed to what we got with Tom Holland.
Yeah, yes. Because what they say they're I don't know if they're saying it, but like what is going to happen maybe after Secret Wars, we're probably going to get like another Tobey Maguire movie or an Andrew Garfield like Amazing 3.
I do not.
Or this is just I know this is just all like rumor speculation probably.
Yeah,
but
that is not going to happen. We might see them in Secret Wars though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they showed up, or at least one of them. And if I had to choose for one of them to show up, I'm gonna go with Andrew Garfield. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. So so we agree. We agree on that regard. All right. So yeah. Next up, of course, we have to address it. Spider-Man 3 from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Now
tricky.
I feel bad for Sam Raimi when it comes to this movie because he just wanted to focus on New Goblin and Sandman as the villains, and then the studio pushed him to do Venom. So I really feel for him, but then without Venom, we wouldn't have got Bully Maguire, the Bully Maguire meme. So I feel like yay, but like what, like we didn't need it.
Yeah,
so
I kind of want to put it in B, but I'm thinking it probably belongs in C.
It belongs in C or D, like one of these. But
maybe the low end of C.
Because I think we might replace Spider-Man 3 after we get a few more of these on the board, then we can maybe finagle Spider-Man 3 into a proper place. But I think for right now that it has to sit at C because it is definitely a mess of it kind of like fumbles up the perfect trilogy trope. When you know, like when we brought up the what's the better trilogy when we were talking about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, I really wanted to say this, but I couldn't say this because Spider-Man 3 is just so bad compared to 1 and 2. Yeah, so it's not a contender, but it's definitely up there. After that, we got, of course,
I'd honestly
Andrew
put Amazing
Garfield's
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I above Spider-Man 3 at least. I
Yeah,
think it's a pretty competent film.
I think it's a solid B entry.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Personally, but I don't want to be running this. Like, I want you and me to kind of agree. You know, I want us to agree and then like debate and
I think
settle on placement.
Like the actual characters, the plot, all of it is competent. We could put it in maybe B or just C, but above Spider-Man.
It's gotta be above 3. So I think B is a good spot for that right there for sure. Then February said real quick, Spider-Man 3 black suit is top 3 Spider-Man suits. I like the design of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit. I really do.
I like the raised webbing. I think that's a really good design.
The the webbing on the suit.
Yeah. How it's like that. We need to bring that back.
I like that a lot too. I like the lenses that is used like for the eyes on this, the design for the eyes. I like when Spider-Man, when the first Raimi Spider-Man film was being like promoted, and like you had him on like the cover or the front of like cereal boxes and the Taco Bell and Burger King Happy Meals and what have you, and like the French fry containers and then the soda pop cups all had like the design of Spider-Man on them because it was a big deal, first live action Spider-Man, right? And I remember like seeing the design on I think it was like a cornflakes or a Cheerios box, and I cut it out, like I cut the cardboard out of the Spider-Man, and I was just drawing the Spider-Man design that I was seeing and repeating it over and over, and I would do my eyes for my Spider-Man drawings just like these ones from the Sam Raimi design.
Yeah, and another thing about it is like his final fight with Goblin, where like the mask is ripped and the lens is broken, and you can see his like face.
Yeah,
they do something similar to that in Noir, actually.
Really?
In the final episode,
okay.
but like
that's cool.
That look in that final fight with Goblin, like I don't think Spider-Man's ever looked better in live action. Like it just looks.
Yeah,
so
I think like there's action figures of like the battle damaged Spider-Man from that scene.
Yeah,
like there's action figures of it, and I always wanted one.
That's
I never had
another thing
one.
I dislike about MCU Spidey is like he just takes his mask off at the end. Like we don't get the battle damaged costume. He just doesn't have a mask anymore. It's like kind of lame, you know. Anyway.
No, you're good. All right, so Amazing Spider-Man B, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I want to go. I was gonna go, C or D for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
D because it is just so poorly written.
I want to put it there just alone for the fucking Harry Osborn stuff. like
That's the question.
yeah,
That's
like
the question.
the Norman and Harry Osborn stuff in this,
This
and
model thing is exhausting.
and Electro was so bad in this one. Like I hate the fact that they like made Jamie Foxx's Electro better in the No Way Home movie, because
It
the
makes this version of Electro in the movie even worse.
yeah, it makes this stand. Yeah, they made him like way different,
Yeah,
and
like the way he looks in Amazing Spider-Man 2, terrible. Terrible
yeah. So
design.
I think this placement right now. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think this is very solid placement. By the way, like what we have going on.
It might get a little controversial when we get these other movies in there.
Probably, maybe. Oddball said Amazing Spider-Man Garfield was my fave. Yeah, well, he was a lot of favorites for a lot of people, man. So, but anyway, after that we have, do you want to just go into the Tom Holland ones, or do you want to do like the animated Miles Morales ones first, and then we do a Tom Holland?
Yeah, we could do the Into the Spider-Verse. I would put.
Okay. So I think the first Spider-Verse film was like A or B. Like
I think, oh God, it's so tricky because I think an A, honestly.
Yeah,
And well,
like,
it depends on where you put the second one, because I don't know if I would put it in A or B.
I think that this movie is very like, it was very well done, and I watched it multiple times and I enjoyed
I think it's
watching
better
it.
than the sequel.
Yes, yes. So I think it's better than the sequel, because I think the sequel belongs in like C or D.
Really?
Probably like,
Maybe we could put it in B, but ahead of Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
That
fair with
kind of
that.
works for me.
Yeah, I'm fair with that. Okay.
I would put Across the Spider-Verse in like a C. Probably better than Spider-Man 3.
Better than Spider-Man 3.
but definitely not as good as like the first one.
Okay, I can agree with that.
And I think that's the problem with like, that's what these kinds of trilogies, it would work better if each story was sort of like, it had a beginning and an end, and it felt like you could just kind of put one on and watch it on its own and get a story. And that's the problem with the sequel. It's like open-ended and it's to be continued, and it's been like 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it could, maybe if it was a different story, it would have been good.
Right. Oddball said, do you guys like Miles like that?
Only in these movies. I don't like him in anything else. Like the comics version of Miles, not good. The video game version.
I hate him in the video game. I hate
him. Yeah, the video games, Miles, really boring, and the comics are just pretty mediocre, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually has like a distinct character in these movies. They actually make his character interesting or like enjoyable to watch as a protagonist. If he was more like the comic book version, it would not work. It would be way more boring. And that's why it's like, sometimes you just need to change things for an adaptation for it to actually work.
Fair enough. Good question. Appreciate that, Oddball. So after that, let's do the Tom Holland, and then we'll save the debauchery for last. So
where would you put Homecoming?
Homecoming. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, Homecoming is the better movie out of the three.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the better movie, but I don't like it because I'm a little biased when it comes to this version of Spider-Man. So it's a better movie, but I would rather watch Spider-Man 3 than watch this.
Same, but I think C, bottom of C, behind Spider-Man 3. That works for me. Unless you think it would. Well, technically, I think it's
a better movie.
It's probably
it's a better movie than Spider-Man 3. But I'd rather watch this one. But
yeah, Spider-Man 3 is more enjoyable, but overall quality, yeah.
If I'm being realistic, right?
But Far From Home, let's chuck that right down D.
February. The video game Miles makes me racist. God damn.
But yeah, Far From Home, I honestly, maybe it's better than Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it is on par with it's in D for sure. Put that shit in D. I fucking hate that movie.
You said it's better than Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Do you think so?
Uh yeah, yeah, probably.
Like
Yeah, I think
I
so.
just one thing I hate about it is that it's not set in New York. Like
I can't
it,
stand the whole like European
yeah,
circuit that this
it just
movie's on. Yeah.
does not feel right. You
Yeah,
know what we're talking about? Like it just doesn't
I
feel
can't
right. It's
even.
imagine it like goddamn. Not only is it like modern day, but it's also not even in fucking New York. It's like the worst of it's like the worst of the worst, man. It's fucking
Right.
awful.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
bad.
fucking hate that. And the whole plot being centered around like passing the torch from Iron Man to Spider-Man, like fuck off.
And
Fuck off.
the whole thing that like I can't believe that Tom Holland's Spider-Man would give Mysterio that level of power after only knowing him for like a couple days.
Yeah, it just makes the character look fucking dumb.
He
And
just
it's like,
it makes him look so
oh,
stupid. And yes, I know
he's not acting like
he's not
he's not
mature. He's a
he's not
kid. He's a
acting like a
teenager.
Spider-Man. Even like an immature teenage Spider-Man, I think doesn't act the way Tom Holland does in the MCU. He doesn't feel like Peter Parker. Everyone's saying he's the best of both worlds. Like fucking bullshit. He's the worst of both. He's the worst Spider-Man. He's the worst Peter Parker. All right, there I fucking said it. That's what's up.
Yeah, and like I know that they change around like they change around the origin for different stuff in this universe version of this Spider-Man, but like Quentin Beck like being like they're them being all former employees of like Stark Industries from back in the day, like
I hate how much it's tied into Iron Man.
I hate so much how much it's tied into Iron Man.
Yeah, but like how Oddball says, like Mysterio, they do like his abilities justice in the way it's filmed. And
Yeah, like
presented.
there's the one confrontation where Mysterio's doing his full flex fucking like hypnotizing and like environmental
Constantly changing
changes and
shit up. Yeah,
fucking Spider-Man up. Like that honestly was pulled from the cartoon. Like it felt like a cartoon moment. And I thought that was the best moment in the entire movie because everything other than that, like when you get Nick Fury in it and then these elemental guardians and what have you, like it was
yeah.
just
That all.
then the
I'm glad that
drones and stuff like
I'm glad the Elemental Guardians weren't actually real. That would have been so fucking lame as a
it was
Spider-Man
lame
threat.
regardless.
Yeah, but I will say I do like the red and black suit. Like that looks good. I don't like how he made it. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that's why like Brave New World, where it's fucking called, the new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The suit looks good, and I'm hoping based on like, well, the Hulk apparently is going to be a pretty big part of that movie. But
I can't right now, please. I
okay,
really
maybe
can't
we'll
with
get into
that.
that a bit later. But like,
Yeah, I can't with that.
I'm hoping the Peter Parker and Spider-Man aspects of the film feel more authentic to the character.
I doubt they're gonna capture it, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And No Way Home, I'm ready to put
let's
that right
let's
in fucking D, dude. Bottom
yeah.
of D.
No
Bottom of
Way
D.
Home is not a good. It's a clusterfuck of a
I think
film.
the more you watch
They
it, the worse it gets.
they did. I honestly
We could put it
like.
above Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, like we could. That's fair. Like we could put that above Amazing Spider-Man 2, and
Like Willem
it's a
Dafoe
worse.
carried the movie.
He did, yeah. I honestly, I didn't think that he was gonna snap back into it as well as he did, but he did.
It felt
And
like he
that's
went
some
from the
trick, that
that
spider sense of
yeah.
yours.
Yeah, it's like Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
It's good. It's good.
Like
It's great.
it was, and he felt like an actual threat, and he kicked the shit out of Tom Holland. And like,
Yeah.
I like seeing like Tom Holland actually have to fucking put up a fight against someone. in like an
Yeah,
actual brawl, you know?
yeah, and honestly, like when they killed off Aunt May, I was like, finally, finally, he's going through something.
Yeah, like his life was like he had everything handed to him.
He was whining
That's
and
what that
crying about too much stuff that had nothing to do, like
that's
really
why I'm
with.
like, that's why I'm like a little hopeful for the new one where he's like on his own, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I hope so, man. But it was nice to. I'd be lying if I disregarded or like glazed over the fact that it was nice to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield again in the suits.
Yeah, and
It
like
was nice
them
to see it again.
their interactions with each other I enjoyed seeing, but the actual plot of the movie,
The
fucking
plot is
terrible.
horrible. It's horrible, yeah. And like the whole like Doctor Strange being dragged into it and everything, and them like getting ripped out of their timeline before they died
Didn't
specifically
even
is
make
just.
sense. Didn't even make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Because some
yeah,
of them didn't even die.
yeah.
Sandman and Lizard didn't die.
Yep. So all right, we can get to the bottom of the barrel here. I want to do the Venom movies last. I want to do the
All right.
bullshit. Let's just go ahead and put Morbius in F. So I think everyone
Madam
can agree
Web
with that. And
worse than Morbius.
Madam Web has to go in E over
Fuck off.
Morbius. I think
No.
it has to go over
It
that
is
because
worse. It's
the
less,
memes, the
no, because
memes.
what memes? Morbius has more memes. It's
Oh,
Morbin time.
oh yeah,
Like
you're right. You're
one of
right.
them is so dumb and stupid, and the other, Madam Web, is just boring as fuck.
Yeah.
And then Craven, I would consider Craven better than Madam Web.
I didn't even watch I didn't watch any of these three movies. I've never seen any
I'm
of
fine
them.
with them being in any order. Just put them in F because they all suck.
Yeah. I didn't even watch a single one of them, but I know that they belong there. Oh man, dude. Yeah, fuck these movies. Like Spider Noir was it's not obviously it's not based on a bad guy, but Sony should have just went the direction of doing like alternate Spider-Mans without calling him Peter Parker. That's a way better meal ticket than these attempts that you guys did right here, Sony. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, and then Venom. Have you seen all of
Uh
these?
I've seen the first two. I didn't watch 3. But I
Three.
but I know that 3's real bad.
Yeah, wherever you put the first two, three has to be beneath that.
Yeah. So I think Venom 1 probably should go C.
Really,
Do you think it deserves higher?
bottom of C, I think.
Bottom
Either
of C.
the
Or you
bottom of
you think it deserves D.
yeah, either bottom of C or top of D. One of those.
Cuz I watched the first Venom movie and it was it was fun. But yeah, I know that this is like getting Tom Hardy was a big deal for these, right? Like this was a big seller for the like yeah, you know how you think Ryan Gosling is like the big sale for Star Wars Starfighter? That's how I feel about this movie. Like these movies were big draws because Tom Hardy, a lot of people
Yeah,
are fans of Tom Hardy.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think that, but and like this on-screen depiction of Venom was like way more comic accurate, like the way he looked, but the story is awful. Story is just awful.
Honestly,
So
I think it might
that's why I
actually be
go
I
ahead.
could we could do see because I kind of want to say the second one's better. It's like more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um I'm thinking first one the top it's at the top of D and then the second one is at the bottom of C. Unless you
Well,
want to put both of them in C.
that's where you and me disagree because I wanted to put Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage lower than the first one.
Okay, then we could just do
Because
Venom,
I
the
think
first one, top of
because
C or
because
bottom of
I think the bottom of C is where Venom 1 should go, and then like honestly the bottom of D.
fair enough. Fair
Like
enough.
I think that Let There Be Carnage was such a fucking letdown. Like I knew that they weren't gonna do it right. I know that they were gonna fuck Carnage up. I knew they were gonna fuck up Cletus Cassidy, and they didn't. The fucking cheek of Andy Serkis, that motherfucker, you piece of shit. You didn't make the movie should have been rated R. How can you not have a fucking R rating on a movie and you put Carnage in it?
The whole trilogy should have been rated R and also completely different.
Yeah.
And
So
I think we could put
you didn't need to have Spider-Man. You could have done this, but you could have done
like
it
Lethal
better.
Protector, like Venom had his own comic series.
Yep.
Like you could have done it. It
Like
could have been
Venom was a bad guy. Like Venom was a bad guy and a villain to Spider-Man for a short time. He's been a way longer like anti-hero slash hero character more than he was a villain. So like you totally could have done this trilogy, but the way that they went about it, like Jesus, dude. Like when I watched the first movie and then I knew we weren't gonna get Spider-Man, but then the bad guy was another symbiote and it was Riot or whatever. Like
That's actually something I fucking hate about because as a kid, I loved the idea of like other symbiote characters.
yeah, as a kid, I loved it too.
And
Planet
they
of the
fucking
Symbiotes was sick.
and like I like the idea of like this like whole like kind of family of symbiotes that spring off of Venom,
Yeah.
where you have like Scream, Agony, Riot, I think Lasher and or Slasher, and you also had Toxin,
Yeah.
who shows up in the third one. And a lot of those characters, technically, a version of them show up in the third one, but it's fucking terrible. Put that shit in E or even in F. The last one, fuck that movie.
I just wanted to put something in E for the sake of it. And
Makes
I think
sense.
that belongs there. I belong here. But
I think this is a pretty decent tier list.
and then but oh wait, but then we don't have it on screen with us, but February asked us where does Spider Noir rank. So we can just like kind of pseudo the mouse will be Spider Noir. We can put the
Yeah,
mouse
I
where
think
we think it'll be. I think it
since
goes
I've seen
high B, maybe.
yeah, I could definitely see, since I've watched the whole thing, either top of B or in A, but beneath the first Spider-Man. But I think just on its own merits, I would say high B sounds fair enough to me.
High B sounds fair. Yeah. So if Spider Noir if we had the representation for Spider Noir on the list, we would put it in B tier for sure. But yeah, I think this is a very solid. People can debate us. Let us know what you guys think. Obviously, people were like chiming in the chat during the live stream. But if you guys are watching this on the replay, shout out to the replay crew. If you guys want to let us know what you guys think of this tier list, let us know. Let us know where you would put your picks at, or if we feel that we hodgepodge and mixed up these a little bit. So let us know. But yeah, that's a solid tier list if I ever saw one. I like it, but I think that'll be it. We can call that done. But yeah,
I also just want to say I was kind of hopeful for Morbius because I really liked that character growing up.
I hate Jared Leto so much. I hate
Jared Leto so much.
I hate Jared Leto with a burning passion.
I also love like vampire stuff.
Yeah.
So like it could have been fucking like Matt Smith was in that. He should have been Morbius. Get Jared Leto the fuck out of here. But maybe we should do like a hangout with your floppy or something, just talk about vampire shit, just so I could about
so you can really just get your rocks off on it.
There is a movie I wanted to recommend. It's called Dracula: A Love Tale. It's kind of a remake of Bram Stoker's Dracula. It came out a few years ago. Really good. I thought it was really fucking good.
There was that one that was what they call it? Voyage to the Demeter. Did you ever watch that one?
That's a good movie as well. It's like
that
like
was
a couple.
That was surprising to me. I loved that movie.
Yeah,
that was
like
a good movie.
Small part of the novel, but it could just be its own movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. So I don't know I didn't know if you saw it or not, but that's cool. I'm glad you feel the same way. But fuck me. It's almost 1 a.m. where I'm at, so we're probably going to be wrapping it up here soon. February said werewolves over vampires. I don't know if I can agree with that.
I definitely don't agree with that. But, Underworld movie.
I'm more of a vampire guy too.
Yeah, vampires are just cool. We needed like a vampire
my
fucking Spider-Man.
God. Okay, you know what? Real
Jane
quick,
Parker in this shit.
put a pin in the vampire thing. We're gonna do. I know I didn't plan on doing video game shit talk on this really like that, but I'll just do it for this one moment. So just give. Okay, so I didn't plan on doing like video game talk, but there was one thing that I did have to bring up and mention: Witcher 3 new DLC.
A new one.
Did you see that?
Hold on, I'm gonna quickly Google that because they already did a Blood and Wine is like the vampire.
Yeah, but that was like years and years ago. But that was like the conclusion for Geralt's story was Blood and Wine. And
Songs of the Past.
yes, so that just got announced yesterday.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a new Witcher 3 DLC that they're gonna put together, and it's gonna be coming out. And a lot of people in the gaming space have already like deduced, of course, and seeing it coming from a mile away. They're either it's like a passing of the torch DLC that they're going to be doing because of Witcher 4 being about Ciri. That's what everyone is suspecting that this is going to be. That's why they're doing it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
It's probably going to be good regardless. Well, actually, it might not be good because I know.
Well,
like,
I just think that they're going to do. I think they're going to do something to Geralt in this DLC. I think they're going to do something.
The people who made Witcher 3, I'm pretty sure most of them don't even work there anymore.
That's also what we've brought up on stream before, because we've brought up that vampire game again. Blood of the Dawnwalker is coming out in September, and
I'm getting that shit full price.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! I'm day one buy for sure. But that is from, like you said already, that's from a lot of the head developers from CD Projekt Red that left the studio to go do their own thing, and I'm more excited for that than I am for Witcher 4, because I'm gonna let Witcher 4 come out and I'm gonna let people talk about it. They're gonna tear it apart, and
I'll have to see the reviews.
See how worth it is.
It's been a really long time since I just bought a new game.
Same here.
Like a AAA game like that. Like,
if I had a fucking next gen console, then I would have got Lego Batman. But
I think I can get it. Hold on, is Lego Batman on PC?
It should be.
Actually, I think I might get it on my Switch.
Yeah, I'm like, you just bought a fucking
Switch
2, bro.
Yeah, but dude, the deluxe edition for the Lego Batman is $140 Australian.
Oh my god. And that's just digitally?
Yeah. The base game is $110.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I know you're already fucking pinching the pennies because you fucking dropped a fat wad on that Nintendo Switch 2 console. But
yeah, well, I already paid it off on.
Yeah, but no, right. But The Witcher 3 is getting a new DLC, and there's mixed feelings about it because everyone thinks that they're either gonna push Geralt to the side or they're bringing him back after we had a nice conclusion in the epilogue setting that was Blood and Wine, and that they're going to set him aside, push him to the side, and there's even people that are speculating they might kill Geralt off in this DLC. And I just think, like, if that ends up happening, they're gonna piss a lot of people off, because they already pushed, not to cut you off, but they already pushed away so many people with the botching of the fucking Netflix show, that if they kill off Geralt in this new DLC when they already concluded his story, he had a nice send off, he had a beautiful ending to it. It was a nice cap after 3 titles of him being the main character. I just think that this is going to be either a nice homage piece that they can give him, or it's going to be one of the biggest mistakes they ever make.
I think, I definitely, now I kind of want to just play Witcher 3 again. I might do that over the weekend, but it better be on par with, like, at least in terms of the content, with Blood and Wine, where it's like a whole new area and it's a whole story, and it's like you know, especially if they're going to charge people, like it's probably going to be a pretty pricey DLC.
It'll probably be like a $20-$30 DLC, maybe. Who knows? Like what? Like Heart and Stone and Blood and Wine. I think I paid $20 for those back in the day.
Yeah, I think the deluxe edition just came with those.
Or the complete edition. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I don't know, man. I'm not.
Well, that's a fresh announcement. You know what I'm saying? So people are just doing the speculation thing, of course, like they always
next
will.
game coming out?
Witcher 4. That ain't for another like 2 years, I think.
Okay, because the DLC says it's going to come out next year for this DLC.
Yeah. The Blood of the Dawnwalker game's coming out this year in the fall, and then this DLC for the Witcher 4 or for the Witcher 3 is coming out next year. And man, there's even some people that are saying that they're even just disregarding the Witcher franchise after the wrap up for Geralt, and they're just putting it to bed and to rest, and they're just going to move on to the Blood of the Dawnwalker game and just like let Witcher kind of just die and set off in the sunset.
Yeah,
which I don't blame them.
Without Geralt, without Geralt, it's kind of like pointless. It feels that way anyway. He is the Witcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and Ciri isn't a Witcher. Like she has like the Elder Blood powers and everything, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is that did she go through the Trial of Grasses? Is that what it's called?
She did, but because she has that Elder Blood, like that's why she was able to survive it. Because women can't typically.
Yeah, survive the trials.
Yeah.
Yeah. And never played Witcher, oddball. You're doing yourself a disservice. Witcher is an amazing franchise. Yeah, but I thought you'd get a kick out of that because I didn't even
fucking know.
Yeah, I didn't know you didn't hear about that, man.
I'm gonna download Witcher 3 and then I'm gonna download some mods because I love modding games.
There you go. Yeah, and then of course, everyone knows Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight is just taking the online space by storm. So many people are streaming the game right now. I was watching that fucktard Fear the Beardo. He was playing it because he's like a big Batman fan, and I was just watching it just because I wanted to see some of the gameplay from it. Shout out to that fucker. But yeah, the game looks great. I want to get my hands on it. I haven't been watching like too much of the story for it. I've just been watching a lot of like the free roam gameplay. It looks great though. Looks great. People are calling it like the spiritual sequel to Arkham, the Arkham franchise, like because Rocksteady apparently is like credited as like what's the word? Like
developer or publisher?
Yeah, like I don't know what the proper word is for it, man. I'm fucking tismed out tonight. I've been talking so much, but yeah, people are saying that because they use the free flow combat from the Arkham games in that Lego game, so that's definitely a part of it why they would credit Rockstar or Rocksteady. Jesus Christ. Speaking of Rockstar, GTA 6, guys, maybe it's supposed to be coming out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That was all I had. I didn't have any more than that. I didn't have a whole lot of video game talk tonight. I've been playing. I would ask you, but I probably have the same answer from last time we talked. That you're probably still playing the same games, right?
Actually, I've been playing new games.
Uh-oh.
I've been playing Tales of Iron.
Okay.
Which is like a medieval setting. It's like kind of like a side-scrolling RPG. You're playing as a rat. So it's like instead of people, there are animals.
Yeah.
And pretty fun. I'm on to the second one where you play as another rat. And it's more like Viking setting.
Have you ever played that like arcade side-scroller Castlevania type game called Blasphemous?
No.
No? I think you'd like that.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's called Blasphemous. It's like real like Castlevania kind of like vibe to it, but it's not vampires. It's like demon.
Oh,
like
Blasphemous.
Demonic.
Actually, I have the first game, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, that game's pretty fun. I think I got like close to beating it, and I just haven't beaten it yet. But That game's fun. Man, dude, hella random right now too, but just because I said Castlevania, like, have you gone to do they have GameStop stores near you?
We don't have GameStop in Australia.
Okay, all right, I was just curious. But over here in the States, the GameStops, they're like they started selling retro games again, like older consoles and older games, and now they're selling old Nintendo cartridges and older Nintendo and Sega and Sony consoles now, because GameStop was doing so poorly on like on the physical copy front that they started selling like Pokemon cards and T-shirts and Magic the Gathering and stuff. Like you walk in a GameStop now over here in America, and it looks like just like a geek hobby bodega shop. It
Yeah, I
doesn't even
think
look like a video game store
the
anymore.
equivalent to that would be like EB Games, which
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
is GameStop owned.
Yeah, we used
So
to have EB Games here in the States, but then they got bought out.
yeah, so it's like the same thing where like there's like a half of the stores like Funko Pops.
Yeah, yeah, there's a good amount of Funko Pops in the
I
ones
fucking
that
hate
in
those.
the one in my I I have a couple, but that's because they were gifted to me, and I don't like go out of my way and seek out Funko
Yeah,
Pop
I
figures.
used to, and I have a bunch, and they're just in my closet
Yeah,
now.
I remember you. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah. Yeah, but I hope I don't have to ever walk into a GameStop again. It was it was actually kind of depressing. It kind of made me reminisce of days of old. I remember when the Modern Warfare 2 days, when Modern Warfare 2 Xbox Live gaming was at its height and its peak, and you would walk in there and it was just fucking a whole plethora of Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2 titles all over the place. Couldn't get
Yeah,
enough of seeing
now
it.
you got to go to like a secondhand store or something to get some of that.
Yeah, or like a online, like a Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that. That's where I get a lot of like my Star Wars novels, is online, like marketplace, secondhand. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like we're getting here, drawing to the end of the episode. I feel like we're all tuckered out, and we've kind of covered everything we wanted to cover. Was there anything else that you had to mention while we were on live, or no, or you've kind of
I think we're all good.
okay, all right. I was just making sure because I knew we wanted to talk about the couple main things, and the tier list and video game talk was just a little icing on the cake. But now I feel like I'm all tuckered out. But yeah, we appreciate everybody. Of course, during the live chat, shout out to everybody in the chat that was engaging during the show. You guys are always awesome to have here. You guys are part of the show too as well. We'd love to hear from you guys. Shout out to the replay crew. If you guys are watching this on the replay, hit in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the show. I think I'm working on. I don't think I'm gonna put out a Mandalorian Grogu video because, like I said, I think I've said all I wanted to during this live stream about it. I'm not gonna grift off of a shitty fucking Disney Star Wars movie. I don't need to do that personally. So I think I'll just let that die in its bed and let it rest where it lays. I am, however, I know I've said it a few times already, but I'm still piecing together my Superman video. That shit's gonna be probably my longest video on the channel. My Superman video is probably gonna be like over 40 minutes long. It's gonna be the longest video I've put out so far. So just bear with me. It's gonna be it's a labor of love, but it's gonna be worth it. And shout out to everybody that's been showing love on the recent video, the mall video that I put out a few days ago. It's been already climbing, like it's going to hit 1,000 views probably in the next day or so. So shout out to everybody that's been showing support on that. Really appreciate you guys. Be sure to also, I'll put his YouTube channel in the description, but be sure to go follow Narrowdark and go sub to his channel. He's got some more content cooking up here in the near future for sure. I'm guaranteeing it. So be on the lookout for that. And thank you guys so much for catching Unlimited Tirade as always. Narrowdark, anything else? Anything you want to say, or you just want to say bye?
Goodbye. I'm gonna hit the vape.
All right, hit the vape in honor of the stream. So shout out to all of you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Unlimited Tirade. I am Decrepit, the hooded lad at the corner of the cantina, and thank you guys so much for watching. May the force be with you all. Now piss off. Good night, everybody.
Welcome to the show, where the truth gets very low. Every scream's a dollar sign, every lie's by design. Corporate masters pull the strings, watch the puppets dance and sing. Unlimited tirade, unlimited tirade. No more feeding on that fake parade. We'll see through the charade. Unlimited tirade.